people in here, they've been inside from the start. They haven't had to survive. And they just don't get it. They can't.
The very thing that makes you different is what makes you special.
Now I'm all warm and fuzzy inside.
To fight for this city. To be the symbol of hope that the arrow never was. I am the Green Arrow.
And welcome once again to the Fandom Zone podcast. I'm Charles Skaggs. We're here with episode 33, and my brilliant co-hostess with the mostest, Karen Lindsay.
Hello.
Easy for me to say.
That's right.
Yeah.
And co-host was with Semi the mostest this week.
Yeah, she's partially mostest.
Yes, that's right. I'm mostly dead.
Quasi-mostest.
That's right. I'm here.
Yep. We're back. Lots of stuff to talk about.
Yes, we have chosen, however, to highlight a few shows and low light a couple of the other shows this week.
Because we kind of figured that, well, maybe you have other things to do than listen to my ridiculous self for 2.5 hours. Karen, you could listen to for hours and hours.
No, stop that.
Yeah, but me, you got like, dude, got things to do here, so other podcasts I got to listen to, like Next Stop Everywhere. So, yeah.
Next Stop Everywhere, yes, that's a good one, definitely.
Or, like, say, a certain Supergirl podcast. Or,
yes, I had to school Emily this week on a bunch of stuff, not Supergirl stuff, by the way, just... Yep. She hadn't ever heard of, like, pot stickers, for one.
Really?
Yeah. She thought it was some sexual term. I'm not kidding.
Is that something you do with marijuana?
It was so cute, though.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. And she had never heard of You're the Best Around.
Really?
Yeah, never.
What cave is Emily living in?
We had to post a bunch of stuff for her on the page, and it was fun. Yeah.
But see, you don't have that problem here because we are scarily in each other's brains.
That's right, we are.
And I think
although it is kind of fun to school her on stuff.
Yeah,
I will say that.
But I think you get the short end of the stick on that one.
Why are you saying that? I know I like being inside your brain. It's fascinating.
It's a dark, dark place.
So's mine. Mine is much more dark than people think it is.
All right.
When I go out, people are like, "Oh, you're so bright and sunny," and I'm like, "Oh no, you don't have a clue." That's right. I'm doing this with my fingers.
Excellent.
That's right.
Yep. So, all right.
What are we talking about this week?
We got a lots on the plate as usual. We've got The Walking Dead. We've got Gotham. We've got iZombie. We've got Supergirl. We've got The Flash. We've got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We've got Arrow. So
there we go. That's it.
Like pretty much everything.
That is everything.
And this is the week before Jessica Jones starts up on Netflix.
I know.
So.
Well, Jessica Jones is going to come out like, all once.
Yes, but
we're not going to cover it all at once.
No, but I think we're going to, we'll probably do is like we did with Daredevil, just do one episode a week.
Right.
Starting next week.
Right.
So.
Good plan.
I think, we've got already enough on our plate. I don't think we could cram much more than one episode a week into this.
No.
Crazy schedule.
No, definitely not.
All right. So let's start off. Where would you like to start off? Do you want to go chronologically, or I'll give you the option of something else?
Let's start with The Walking Dead.
All right. Walking Dead it is. Episode 605.
Now.
Now.
Let's start with that now.
I picture like Schwarzenegger saying this. We will talk about the Walking Dead. No, we will talk
No.
about the dead
Now we must talk
with
about
the zombies and get to the chopper.
that is no chopper.
All right, so yeah, this was written by Corey Reed, directed by Avi Uabian.
Alrighty.
I'm guessing that's how it's pronounced.
Pardon you.
Yes. Lots of vowels there, Avi.
Mm-hmm.
So, picking back up with the main story after last week, we have Rick showing up in a panic, understandably.
Open the gates.
Yeah, open the gates. Let me in. Let me in. It is like Louis Tully in Ghostbusters.
Yes. Yes.
Begging to be let into the restaurant as
know-
the dogs are. There needs to be a supercut and an edit with him.
With let me in. Yeah.
Let me in.
You know, it's funny. My husband and I were just doing a Ghostbusters riff early this morning.
Mm.
Where every once in a while he'll say, like have some or something like
Yes.
this, and I go, yes, have some.
Every line in that movie is quotable.
I know, it's great.
It's great, and Rick Moranis is just perfect in that.
I know he is.
Okay, so yeah, Rick shows up ahead of that Walker herd.
Now we're still in like the same couple hours as of the start of the season, right?
We don't know. I mean, we figure it's probably a good 15-minute run from where he was back to the
back to Alexandria.
Alexandria, yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, he's just barely ahead of those walkers because some of them are actually kind of ahead of him, of him, and he's like having to duck and dodge and.
Right, but it's what do you think? The same day?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's just like probably like some of that was early in the morning.
Okay.
And then this is now we're kind of starting in the afternoon.
Okay.
By now, I guess.
This is an interesting season.
Yeah. Maybe the whole season could end up like being told in a span of a day.
Yeah, that would be pretty weird.
Or at least the first 8 of the season.
That would be cool, but weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It's crazy. So yeah, Rick tries to rally those Alexandrians and reminds them that with only half the herd now, they won't be able to break through those special walls.
That's right.
Which I'm trying to figure out. How does Rick know that? He doesn't know how many zombies does it take to break through a wall?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's just trying to bolster their confidence, to be honest.
Yeah, because they're gripping pretty hard at this point.
Yeah.
Especially like this is right after they got attacked by the wolves and they're all freaked out.
Right.
Rick doesn't know that yet.
What?
That they got attacked by the wolves.
I think not when he's pounding at the gate, but
no,
by the time they're having their meeting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm sure someone filled him in quick.
Yeah.
But so Aaron admits to everybody that he let the wolves to Alexandria.
There you go. It worked this time.
All right. So yeah, way to go, Aaron.
Yeah.
But thankfully, Aaron kind of steps up a little bit more this week.
Sort of.
He tries.
Yeah.
He doesn't, he may not succeed, but he tries.
Yeah, that's right.
Because he tries to help out Maggie, who's really wants to go look for Glenn.
Right.
I mean, she's like, I'm going to go out there, one person against a zombie horde to find Glenn.
I know.
And
but she really needs that closure at this point, I think. And we don't know why yet.
Right.
Until the end of the episode, but I think she has a feeling that he's not going to come back.
Right.
And she wants to see, it's like pics or it didn't happen. It's like that sort of thing.
Exactly. She needs that closure.
Right. The real.
One way or the other.
Right. A solid.
Yeah.
Closure, not just a hey, he never came back.
Well, Maggie, you're not the only one because we're all needing closure as they keep stringing this along, as I was afraid of.
I know.
I mean, I'm on the record saying they're going to go the Sophia route with this, and this is going to be a total drag.
Yeah.
And sure enough, that's what it looks like we're going to get. Maybe in episode 8 we find out what happened to Glenn.
All right, and he's going to be a walker or something.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I don't know. Or they're going to tease it like, oh, maybe he turned into a walker, but oh, guess what? He's okay.
Right.
Psych. But
yeah. Did you see the picture I tweeted?
Which one?
It's Glenn, and he's like walking like Fred Flintstone in the dumpster. His feet are out the bottom.
No, I didn't see that. That's awesome.
Someone tweeted it, and I just retweeted it.
That's great. I'll have to check that out. So yeah, Aaron leads Maggie to this old sewer tunnel in an attempt to bypass the walkers that are outside.
Right. Which they do.
Which they do for a little bit, but all of a sudden these gooey sewer walkers that are like falling, like they're all squishy.
Gross. They're gross.
But these were fantastic.
They were.
walkers.
They were awesome.
These were my favorite walkers. The sewer walkers were my favorite walkers since the crispy fried, extra crispy walkers.
Yeah.
That walk through the fire.
Fried walkers.
Yeah, the walk through the fire. These were great.
Now, this was after Aaron. They found a ladder that was blocking the passage.
Yeah.
And they had to move it, and it knocked him in the head.
Yeah.
And so they were kind of, it was like a little setback. So they were reeling for a second, and that didn't help when they just popped out of the wall.
No, they were like they were down in there.
Right, they were in. If you look at the behind the scenes clip for this, there's a little offshoot.
Okay.
Tunnel there.
Okay.
So it's meant to be like a T tunnel.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So it opened up that section of the tunnel.
Right.
Okay.
So
because I thought maybe there was a couple of them stuck down there.
No, I thought so too until I watched it, but they actually had a T joint there. Yeah. So it was blocking a hole where they could actually make a turn in the tunnel. And so when they took the ladder down, it opened up that entrance to the turn in the tunnel, and it was still mossy and gross there, so they couldn't see down in there. And when they turned, those things came, and I swear it made me jump out of my seat.
Those are good. I mean, because you wouldn't expect walkers to be down there.
No, you wouldn't,
because they're like, oh, this is a cut off tunnel.
Right.
Which was perfect for a walker surprise, because you're like, where'd these guys come from? Oh my God. And they're disgusting looking, and you're like,
Right. And I'm trying to think of the guy's name. It starts with Nick.
Greg Nicotero?
Thank you, Nicotero. He was in the behind the scenes clip, and he said they were aiming for people that may have been like homeless people that lived down there that maybe died. And they just kept kind of rotting.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
So, that's great.
Yeah. So that was what they were aiming for in the look.
And my favorite was when Maggie's hand goes, like, she tries to grab one of the walkers by the shoulder, and it squishes through. Yes. Because he's so,
porous.
Porous, thank you.
Yes.
Great adjective. So yeah.
Yeah, that was gross.
It's like
squishy.
Ooh. Yeah, it's like it's Play-Doh.
Yeah, it was gross.
That's great.
Yeah, that was a special breastplate on that guy.
So
I just watched that today. I highly recommend watching that on AMC's site, the behind the scenes thing. I was just dying to see more content about that episode. So that was the cool part of it.
So after this plan goes horribly wrong, they get to safety, and then Maggie's depressed as hell over this.
Well, Aaron saves her.
Right.
Which is good. I mean, it's a good thing. He actually steps up and kills those two zombies.
Right.
Yeah.
But and then afterwards, in confidence, Maggie tells Aaron that, surprise, she's preggers.
Right. And doesn't she say something about burning a picture of Glenn? Because she knew they would never be apart.
Yeah, Glenn had this picture of her.
Okay.
Remember, and she told him to burn it because she's not going anywhere.
Right.
She's never leaving him again.
Right. Which was dumb.
Remember, that was at the prison. They're getting...
Okay, right. Right.
After they get reunited and they're like, oh, you don't need this anymore. You've got me.
Yeah, that's stupid, though.
Yeah, pretty much.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. And Glenn has to do it right in front of her because he's got to keep her happy.
Yeah.
I would have just like, okay, substitute quick piece of paper. Oh yeah, it's on fire, and I'm gonna keep the photo. But yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was a symbol for her to burn it, but still.
Yeah, I'm sure Glenn, if he's not a zombie, is probably going, boy, I wish I had this picture right now.
See, and that would have been proof of which zombie was Glenn.
Right, because he had the picture.
Right. Wouldn't that have been poetic?
Well, he probably has got to have the baseball cap.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Zombie, but anyway.
Yeah, that was very touching that she said she was pregnant. Now, she says it, and Glenn obviously knew that she was pregnant because he had told her she had to stay behind. So, even worse.
Right. And that was why he was so desperate to get back. And, during that whole traumatic moment on the dumpster where he's stuck with a-hole, what's his name? Nicholas.
Yeah.
And it's like, I have a baby to get back to and a wife, and I'm stuck here with you, and then you end up possibly killing me.
Right. I don't understand why he's stuck with Andrew.
That's why another reason why I don't think he's dead.
Do you think he's not? I mean,
I don't think he's dead.
Okay. He's not in the opening credits, right?
That's just a fake out.
Okay.
It's easy to pull somebody's name out of the credits.
I know it is.
Yeah. I mean, Doctor Who, they did like a whole, at the end of last season, the last episode, they substituted Jenna Coleman's eyes for Peter Capaldi's in the opening credits. So yeah, it's easy to tweak those credits.
All right.
Just to full mess with people and keep the controversy going.
I hope he's alive. I really do.
I do too, but yeah, no. Especially now that they've cast Negan.
I know. I'm very happy about that. I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, he's perfect. And the comedian as Negan is just perfect casting in my eyes.
I've loved him in every single thing I've ever seen him in.
So that's another reason why I don't think Glenn's dead now.
Yeah,
they're saving him. They're gonna say they're like, oh,
Negan has to kill him.
Yeah, Negan's got to kill him, and that's why it's going to be a complete shock because the people that don't read the comic are going to be like, well, he had this huge near-death experience, so they're going to leave Glenn.
They're not going to kill. Yeah.
They're going to leave Glenn alone for a while. He'll be safe, and then all of a sudden, bam.
Right.
Dead.
Eeny, meeny, miny, moe.
Right. Batters up.
Yep, exactly.
So anyway, Deanna and her son Spencer argue. Spencer blames Deanna's idealism for getting Aiden and Reg killed.
And that was harsh.
It was. But
Deanna was already
breaking
suicidal almost.
Well, yeah, because she's still grieving her husband.
Yeah. And also grieving the fact that this nirvana that she thought she had created is that it's not gonna work the way she thought it was.
Exactly. It's not the ultimate answer she hoped.
Right. I mean, it's really everything is falling down around her. Everything. So she's grieving for everything.
Yeah.
And to have her son, the one thing that she was counting on being by her side.
She has no support system at all at this point.
He just was jumping right down her throat. And then, they had that stare off right after he was done talking to her. He just stared at her for a second.
Stare fight. And
then he turned and walked away like, okay, I shouldn't have said all that, but I didn't not mean it. That's.
I'm glad it was said.
Right. Yeah. And then he walked away and I thought, wow, that is harsh.
Yep.
So, yeah. Ouch.
Meanwhile, back in the playground, Carl approaches. Meanwhile, back in the playground.
I can't help that every time you say it.
Meanwhile, well, that's kind of why I do it.
Okay. Good.
I'm just deliberate to be hokey. It's deliberately hokey.
Okay.
Carl approaches Ron for help with finding Enid.
And now we know she has to be
a wolf.
Yeah.
It has to be it. But Ron refuses him, and he threatens to inform Rick on him. Inform Rick about Carl
But
if
he's gonna go.
Carl's going to go off and take off, and yeah.
Right.
So he's going to rat. So not only is he a jerk, he's a rat.
Right. Exactly.
So that's not going to
And
well.
you know what makes me mad
Yeah.
is that he does it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
He goes and tells Rick anyway.
Because he's a rat.
Right.
And
What
so
a jerk.
he's a weasel.
Yeah.
And he's going to get probably more weaselly. And then I'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah. You mean stepbrother Weasley?
Something. We'll see. But Tara checks on Denise, Dr. Denise, who's losing confidence in her abilities.
Has she ever had confidence?
Well, that's true. Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's probably is even losing even more confidence in her abilities.
Right.
How's that?
Yeah.
Tara advises Denise, and I thought this was kind of funny. Being afraid sucks.
Duh.
Very profound there, Tara.
Right.
But apparently it was enough to get Denise motivated.
Mm-hmm.
And she figures out a way to save Scott from his infected bullet wound.
Yeah. By draining it.
Yes.
Doesn't everyone know that?
Well, apparently Denise just figured this out.
Yeah.
So basic stuff, I would think.
Yeah. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, we could be better doctors than Denise at this point.
Right.
You
got to take the dead stuff and the gross stuff out of a wound.
Exactly.
I know that.
I know that too, but
right. And it was just sitting there.
Apparently Denise never watched a medical show on TV.
Okay.
Before the zombie apocalypse.
But I mean, am I wrong in thinking that?
No,
that was like a big plot. I mean, it was just sitting there.
Yeah.
You could see it in the wound.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's infected. You figure there's pus inside.
You clean it.
You clean the infection out.
Right.
So it will heal.
Right.
Right?
Right. In fact, wherever there's infection, you need to cut it out.
Right.
If you have to, you have to.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
All right. So we're both.
I'm just guessing there that we both know that, and neither of us are doctors.
And we're still better than Denise.
Okay, good.
So yeah.
Good to know.
But now that she's in a good mood after figuring this brilliance of medicine out,
right?
This innovative treatment of
groundbreaking technology of draining a wound.
Draining a wound of an infection, yeah. So she's all happy, and then she goes to find Tara, and plants a big kiss on her.
Whoops.
And not just like, a kiss on the cheek, thanks.
Nope.
This was like the real deal.
So where's Eugene?
Yeah, well, that pretty much shoots my shipping of Eugene and Denise right down the tubes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, in the comics, Denise hooks up with Heath.
Right.
So that's not happening either.
No, it's not.
Apparently.
Right.
I mean, granted, Denise could be bisexual. That's cool, but...
Sure, that'd be cool.
It's possible, but at the moment, it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
It does.
So... But Tara's got to be happy because, like, hey, there's another lesbian in the community. How great is that?
That's right.
It's not just me and Aaron and his boyfriend.
Right. Exactly.
As the gay population of Alexandria.
Doubles.
Right. They each have a partner now, so it's great.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
It's great. All nice and organized and perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse checks on.
They can have a parade.
Yes, Jesse checks on her neighbor, the woman who is the wife of that guy with the letter that died.
Right. Okay, that scared the crap out of me too.
Right. But like I'm gonna come back, or like if you get this message, I'm gonna be dead, and she never gets the message.
Right.
That guy's wife. Okay. Mm-hmm. Only to discover, guess what? Her husband didn't make it back, so she committed suicide.
Right.
Don't. And she turned into a walker. She
didn't shoot herself in the head.
No.
Which would have been the best way to kill herself.
Well, keep in mind, she's an Alexandrian, and they can't do anything right.
That's true.
Right?
Yes.
So that's why. Jessie thankfully steps up to the plate.
Right.
Now that she's had her first kill
Right.
and is like, okay, I can do this now.
Right. And she has a thirst to kill the person that killed her.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait. That's
Yeah.
a different show.
Exactly.
Sorry.
But yeah, exactly. We'll get into that later.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but no, yeah, Jessie had a Rick Grimes moment,
Mm-hmm.
and not just with Rick Grimes, brown chicka brown wow, but
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
yeah. So she
No,
steps
this
up.
was
She steps up, kills the walker, and then she like takes charge of those useless Alexandrians and
yeah.
says they have to adapt to their new circumstances. And
This is life now.
this is it. So
Yeah.
we have to fight to survive.
Yep. Get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was really a good illustration of she is actually like embodying what Alexandria needs to do.
Yes.
She's the first of them to actually do what the town needs to do.
Right.
And it was really kind of jarring to see it happen, but it needs to be done. And she just turns around and there's like 4 or 5 people just milling about watching her.
But it's encouraging to see one of these Alexandrians finally figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, she had to.
Right.
I mean, in order to save her kids,
mm-hmm.
she had to do it. And
she had a trial by fire, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
It's sad that she had to do it for her kids, but everyone should be in this mindset already to save the whole community.
Yes.
And they just were not prepared for this.
So Jessie's odds of survival increasing.
Right. And the rest of the community by her example.
Right.
If they listen to her.
And that's a big if with these guys.
Exactly.
Ron, the rat, ends up going to find Rick and tells him all about, like you said, about Carl's plans. And then he asks Rick to teach him how to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a pretty interesting development to me.
I thought so too.
Especially if you've read the Walking Dead comic.
Mm-hmm.
Because something big in the comic is about to happen at this stage in the storyline. Something big happens to Carl.
Right.
Which I won't spoil here.
Right.
It's in the comic, so you could look it up.
Yeah.
And it's all over the internet.
Right.
But I'm not going to spoil it here.
All you need to do is look it up on the Wikipedia and there it is.
Yeah. But still, I encourage you to read the comic because the comic is great.
Yes, I do too.
So read the comic. And then, so I'm thinking that Ron is the one who does this to Carl.
Could be.
And how horrible is it that it's because Rick taught him to shoot?
Right. Ironic.
Which I think is Ron's plan.
I think so too.
Because Rick took something away from him,
mm-hmm.
and now he wants to
take something
away from Rick in response. Yes.
Exactly.
I think it's all part of his twisted little plan.
Right. Now, you notice he was playing with a knife in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
I thought for sure something was going to happen with that knife in the yard.
I did too.
And it didn't. I was like, oh, he's going to get pushed down onto that knife. And then it didn't happen, but it looked like foreshadowing maybe.
I think episode 8 is going to be huge.
I think so too.
I think everything's going down in episode 8.
Yeah, I think so too.
Which is only 3 episodes away, so it's coming. Like, is your body ready? Because you start posting those "my body is ready" memes. Because
I'm getting ready. I'm getting my brain ready. That's for sure.
Deanna, who's Deanna?
Yeah.
Gets attacked by a walker doing her little midnight stroll or whatever.
Yeah.
And in a rage, she ends up attacking it with a broken bottle.
But she had one job.
And yeah, exactly. One job, Deanna. And you failed.
She put to it.
Like,
aim for the head, Deanna.
Go through the eye sockets. Have you not figured this out? You have a sharp, pointy object.
She had a broken bottle and she just rammed him in the chest over and over and over.
Right.
And Rick finally had to come and kill the walker
It was her little breakdown moment.
in the eyeball. Yeah.
So we kind of have to let that slide a little bit because she
Sure,
was
because she was crazy.
emotional. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But, well, still,
I know.
she knows better.
She's an Alexandrian. Just
Yeah,
saying.
okay. Still.
Anyway, they're
They're so dumb.
They are. I mean, I don't know what happened in this community that all these people just are so lacking in IQ points.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But
are they inbred?
Apparently.
I mean,
apparently everybody's related to everybody else if you go back far enough.
Yeah.
But,
well.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
I'm sure you only have to go back. You have a couple of generations at most with these people.
Yeah, these people don't fork.
Yeah, I like that.
I've
never heard that phrase, but that works perfectly.
Oh, you haven't heard?
I've never heard that phrase.
I'm stealing it from Jeff Foxworthy.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
that makes sense.
If your tree don't fork, you
Yep.
might be a redneck.
Exactly.
So that's his.
So Deanna tells Rick that she wants Alexandria to survive. Asks him if she's being foolish for being an idealist.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
But
Rick's very diplomatic.
Yeah, he does. He says, "No, of course not."
Well, he does want them to have hope.
But he tells her no. It's not. That it's not her fault.
It is her fault, though.
It is, but I know that. But he doesn't tell her that.
I know,
and Rick knows that too.
Right. But what good is it to tell her that?
Well, especially now she's having a breakdown.
Right. It does no good to tell her that.
Exactly.
And you didn't mention, I'm sure you were going to, but she drew this map of rebuilding the community and everything.
No, I didn't. You go ahead.
Yeah. Which I think is an interesting development. She got all worked up and she drew this map of like, here, we're going to do this here. We're going to plant fields here and here and here. And we're going to have a library here. And we're going to, and she's planning out this whole new community, how to build it.
Like all of a sudden it's in her, this vision is in her head. And
right.
And she starts laying this out.
So I'm wondering where that's going to come in. I mean, is she planning on entrenching there and trying to build society back?
Reinforce it.
Right.
She's talking about planting crops. I mean, she marks on there like there's all kinds of crops.
Well, I'm sure that's what she's planning, but I don't know if that's feasible or not.
Yeah.
Do
they have seeds
in this world?
Yeah.
In this world, something like that will have to happen. However,
right.
Transiency seems to be the word of the day.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because the walkers just will not stop coming.
You would have to build this great big impregnable fortress somewhere.
Right.
And have no access from other like invading groups.
And even still that can also cause problems because inside this barrier,
yes,
once someone dies, it has to be controlled.
Yeah.
So, someone can't just die in their house of old age,
So it's kind of an inevitability that things will go horribly wrong.
Right.
Right.
So,
yeah.
There's issues both ways with this.
Yeah.
It's a horrible world to think about. And I love that she has this enthusiasm, and I think Rick sees that too, but he also, he knows that she's just not seeing it right.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So Rick goes to visit Jesse afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And after a short little talk, they kiss.
That's right.
So love is in the air on The Walking Dead. You've got Denise and Tara, and now you've got Rick and Jesse.
Yeah. Hey, I killed your husband. Can I mac on you for a little bit?
Apparently, she's okay with it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he was abusive.
Right. Rick did her a solid.
That's true.
By getting rid of him.
That's true.
See ya, porch dick. To use
Chris Hardwick's phrase.
Exactly.
Yeah. He wanted that to trend.
Yep. Well, we're doing our part, I guess.
We're still using
So
it.
hashtag porch dick.
Right.
There. And lastly, we're left with the cliffhanger. Deanna's out at the gate, and she's staring at the walkers, still kind of in her little fugue state a little bit.
Oh yeah, she was walking around in a daze through
Yeah.
most of this episode.
So then she walks away, not noticing that there's blood dripping from the wall. There's like a crack in the wall, and there's blood dripping through there.
Right.
So apparently there's a structural defect, and the walkers are gonna bust through that crack.
Yeah, can't be good.
Nope.
Yeah, either that or there's some.
Or they're like, something else.
The
walls are bleeding.
Right.
I need a young priest and an old priest.
There's some portent going on. You need to be praying at it or something.
Exactly. So what'd you give this episode?
I gave it 7.5 two-face drunks, and the reason I went a little lower than you is because of Glenn.
Right. Just that they're stringing it out?
Yes. Yeah. I'm so angry at that.
I warned you.
I know.
I warned you.
And the whole doctor, not doctor thing.
Yeah.
You can't figure out draining.
Denise's medical fail.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. All right. Or at least lack of grasp of basic medicine.
That was so dumb.
Yeah. Okay,
just
so
dumb.
I enjoyed this a little bit more. I give the hand wave to Denise's stupidity or ignorance. I don't want to say stupidity. Ignorance.
Ignorance, okay.
Cluelessness. How's that?
Okay. Because Alexandria.
Because Alexandria. I figure the bar of Alexandrians is so low.
She fits right in.
As long as like Denise remembers to walk and breathe at the same time, I consider that a victory.
Good.
It's a victory.
It's a win.
It's a win. Okay. That's that low.
Okay.
And Denise seems to be able to walk and breathe at the same time.
She does, yes.
To her credit. So I'm going to give her points for that.
Okay.
All right.
So I give
this one 8.5 out of 10 broken bottles.
Okay.
So
that's good.
Anyway.
She has to walk and breathe in time with each other or else she can't do it.
Yep. And that's the character, not the actress.
I know. The actress is good.
Yeah.
So what's next?
Gotham.
All right.
Tonight's the night.
And I'm feeling right.
So, yeah.
Sorry.
Episode 8 of Gotham.
That's right.
Season 2, written by Jim Barnes, directed by Jeffrey Hunt.
That's right.
And this is a big Barbara Keene episode.
That's right. Very surreal.
Yeah, because especially right from the start, because Barbara has this little nightmare of her marrying Gordon, but everybody's there and everybody's laughing at her, going ha 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 ha. You know, one of those like dreams.
Right. It starts out fine until the preacher says unlawfully married, and then everything goes wrong.
Yeah, she's like, what?
Yeah, and then it turns into the Penguin as the preacher, and then, yeah.
Yeah. And then Lee's there laughing at her, and yeah.
All the people watching turn into prisoners, and then she's bound and gagged. And
right. No. Wakes up from a dream.
Right.
Oh, it was all a dream.
With whips and chains all over the bed. Did you notice that?
Well.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have that in their bed? But, you know. Oh, did I say that out loud? Okay. Oh, yeah. But, yeah. Theo gives permission to Barbara to go ahead and kill Gordon now. You're allowed.
Sure.
So it's time.
We got that planned out.
Especially since he threatened me last episode.
Right. I have to ask you a question.
Yes.
And I asked Jeff this as well, and other people. But he sent her the box with the dress in it, which he got out of storage.
Right. What's in the box?
Again, with what's in the box.
What's in the box?
So Theo got her dress out of storage and sent it to her, and he signed the card "Love G."
Right.
For Gallivan.
Right.
Does she call him Gallivan?
I don't think so. You think
okay.
Otherwise, it's Gordon.
Right. That's my question.
Yeah. You think? Oh, see,
Is he trying to put her in that mindset
maybe.
of making her a little
Right.
nutty
Yeah, I think so.
by signing at Love G
Yeah. Yeah, because otherwise she's going to associate the wedding dress with
with Theo?
which is not what he wants.
Right,
So that's why he's really vague about it and puts the
right,
G.
right.
That's my take on it.
That was my take as well, because why else would he sign at Love G?
Right. It's not like she knows a Gary or a Greg.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. Because
Okay.
she
Yeah.
doesn't. To my knowledge, she doesn't call him G.
Yo, G, what's up?
Right. Exactly. All right.
All right. Theo offers Bruce a proposition.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce can sign Wayne Enterprises over to Theo, and Theo will give Bruce this lovely little envelope that happens to have all the details of the person that killed his parents.
Yeah. Why is this even a question for Bruce? If someone has the name of the killer of someone else, you just say you have to go to the police with that.
Exactly. Why wouldn't
I'm not going to give you a company for that.
Yeah. Hey, Gordon. Theo
That's
said
extortion.
Theo just told me that he has the information on my parents' killer.
Right. Haul him in.
Yes.
Am I right on that one?
No, you're perfectly right on that one.
Okay.
Come on. It's Gotham Writers.
Yeah, I know.
Again, Gotham Writers are like Alexandrians. You have to lower the bar a little bit.
Well, that's not true this season. However,
they have stepped up their game a little bit. Yes, I will give them that. But
right. And I get where...
But there's still a lot of logic flaws in this show.
I get where Gotham is this town where lawlessness abounds and you don't know who's corrupt and who's not.
But Bruce knows he can trust Gordon.
Right.
And
he thinks he can trust Theo. That's...
Yeah, he's suckered in by, that's Silver St. Cloud and Theo's my buddy.
Right. And I think part of him wants to know the name of the killers on the side.
And he's so desperate.
Right. He wants to do something himself. He doesn't want Gordon to know.
He doesn't really think it through because he's so emotional about...
Right. But don't you think he wants to do something off book?
Oh, sure.
Right.
Well, he did say that he wants to kill his parents' murderer.
Right. So he wouldn't want to go to the police with it.
That's true.
However...
There's two ways to look at this.
However,
meanwhile,
he should go to the police.
Yes, he should.
He shouldn't sell his company to him for the cost of his parents' murders.
Or go to the TV news or something.
Right.
Like, hey, I got this big story.
Mm-hmm.
The mayor just tried to extort blackmail on me for my parents' company.
Right.
But again,
whatevs.
Yeah, pretty much. Barbara, as part of the plan, apparently, just openly walks into the GCBD station and surrenders herself.
Mm-hmm.
Gordon takes it upon himself to... he tries to interrogate her a little bit, try and get some information out of her. She's not really budging on it.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of gets him to give her a kiss, or does he deliberately give her a kiss to?
No, he deliberately kisses her.
He's pretty much manipulating her.
Yes,
trying to.
But
Lee sees it, and Leslie is like, nope.
Well, she's not happy about it, but I think she knows what he's doing.
Okay, I would hope so.
And I have to say that Erin, who plays Barbara,
Erin Richards,
yeah, crazy good in this episode.
Yeah, she was. I mean, I have nothing against her as an actress. The writing was lacking.
Yeah, it was.
I thought.
She is crying these crocodile tears, but you can almost sense that Jim believes her.
Well, because he still cares about her.
Right, to a certain point. I mean, he's wary, but if she will give up any little crumb, he'll go along with it.
Right.
And
he's kind of a similar situation with Bruce, because he's desperate to get dirt on Gallivan.
Right. Exactly. So he's hedging his bets here. And as he walks out of the room, her face just does these little micro changes as she walks over to the mirror.
It's very subtle.
Yeah. And then by the time she gets over to the mirror and she's looking just directly at Leslie.
Yep.
And it's just all the malice and evil.
Like, ha ha ha! I've got him wrapped around my little finger.
Right. Although she doesn't, but
she acts like she does.
I know. Well, she thinks she does.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy. So, wow.
Yeah. Everybody's favorite burgeoning homicidal maniac, Edward Nygma.
Yeah, and I think that's true.
He goes off to the woods. Decides to have a little picnic in the woods.
That's right.
Where he buries his dead ex-girlfriend, Kristen Kringle.
Mm-hmm.
He starts to bury her. Offers up a riddle, of course, as a eulogy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got his nice little like packed lunch in a basket or whatever. He's got wine, like one for my homie and
right.
one for me, one for my homie.
Right.
And then he's got a sandwich and he's enjoying himself, making a day of it. When all of a sudden this hunter shows up.
Mm-hmm. Whoops.
And Nygma, being Nygma, gets a hold of the shovel and whacks the guy over the back of the head. So the guy falls right in the pit there with Kristen.
Mm-hmm.
And Ed's like, well, guess, I've got two bodies to get rid of now.
But he doesn't want to dig the grave any bigger.
No. He's like, I just have to fit you in there somewhere, somehow, so we're just going to cut you up.
Let me go get my bone saw.
Yeah.
I keep it handy.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's one of the things you should have in the trunk of your car at all times.
Well, what homicidal maniac wouldn't keep his bone saw?
You always keep a blanket, maybe like a first aid kit, and of course a bone saw.
Sure. I do.
Well, who doesn't?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying too. All right. We're getting really dark this episode.
I know, right?
We are just kidding around here, folks. Okay.
Yes.
Just for any law enforcement.
I do not have a bone saw in my car.
For any law enforcement agencies that happen to be listening to the Phantom Zone podcast, we respectfully disclaim any and all knowledge of homicidal activities.
That's right.
So we're just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I don't have a bone saw in my car.
We don't have a bone saw. All right.
Just a big.
So Barbara talks Gordon into kind of tooling around town in a car with they do have people watching this, not just them.
Right.
So
the strike force.
They've got backup. Right. They even have like helicopter support, I think.
Right, and Bullock's in there with them too.
Yeah. So they go to this unknown location, and following Barbara's directions, of course, and the squad gets assaulted by Tabitha and her little running crew.
The car is hit first by a semi-truck.
Yeah, well, that's part of the plan.
Yeah.
The car, I mean, Tabitha didn't just like, oh, great, there's a car there.
Right.
That was part of the plan.
Yeah, the semi-truck hits them, and that always gets...
Total ambush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whenever that happens in a show, I'm like,
They're really good. They're really good at those effects.
I know, they really are.
Because I mean, it looks so brutal, those car crashes.
I know.
When you're in the car and you all of a sudden, bam, somebody comes at you.
Mm-hmm.
They've got that down pretty good.
They do.
Gordon ends up waking up in Gotham Cathedral,
mm-hmm.
where he and Barbara just happen to be the place where they were going to have their wedding.
That's right. And I thought it was genius that Bullock figured it out from what Barbara was saying in the car.
Right.
Very good.
Yeah, Harvey steps up. He's initially gets some. He gets kind of like suspended.
Well, he got hurt.
Right.
So the commish.
The commish,
which is what I'm going to call him.
Right.
The commish.
Commissioner Ben Grimm.
Right. Right. He says, you were hurt. You need to go. Go home. You were in this horrible car crash.
Yes.
I don't need you right now. Go home. And he refuses because it's his partner that's been taken. And, I'm going to keep listening to the...
It's like at the end of Ferris Bueller. You're still here?
Right. Go
Go
home.
home.
Right.
Go home.
Exactly. And he knows there's something bothering him about the conversation.
Right.
And they were close to whatever church they were going to get married in. He
Gotham.
knows it.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
And he says that's where they are. And so the commish, rallies the troops and they go down there. And lo and behold, yep. That's where they were.
So
and she has Leslie.
Yeah, so the strike force shows up. Leslie gets rescued because Leslie was there.
Right.
As part of like, hey, guess what, Jim? I've got your girlfriend and she's going to watch us get married.
And I'm going to use a flensing knife on her face.
Because she's so pretty.
That's right. Which puts me in the mind of a special supervillain of
right.
Batman's.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So Barbara hangs from a church window after a little throwdown with Jim.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw the stained glass window, I'm like,
oh, you knew what was
she's
coming.
going right through it.
That's right. You knew
somebody was going through that window.
Yeah. You can't have a stained glass window, floor to ceiling.
Pretty
you
much.
Can't have one without someone.
You got to smash that sucker.
That's right.
Yeah. So, this ends up leading to like a half a dozen broken bones and a concussion.
Right. I thought for sure she was going to be dead.
I thought so too, but then they come up with the explanation like, oh, she suffered a couple, like half a dozen broken bones. And so it's like, oh, they're going to drag this out now. Now, here's my question. If she had a concussion, does she get reset back to normal, like in a soap opera?
I think she's going to go to Indian Hill.
That would be interesting.
That's what I think.
That would be interesting.
Is that she is going to like fall into some weird coma and they're going to take her to Indian Hill. She's not really going to be in a coma.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Fake coma.
Right.
Yeah, I gotcha. Just to get out of jail.
Right.
Got it. Okay, so with info from Barbara, the GCPD ends up going to the China docks to rescue Mayor Aubrey James from his abduction.
Right. And of course, Mayor James tells who he was being held by.
Yep. So Gordon's got to be happy at this point because it's like, hey, guess what?
Here's my proof.
Here's my proof. So meanwhile, Bruce is meeting with Theo. He's about ready to sign that little document to sign over his company. And then thankfully he's like, maybe let me think on this. I'm not sure I want to do this.
Right. And he backs off all by himself, which I think is good.
That is good because, yeah, you had Alfred going, dude, are you crazy? Come on.
Right. Right.
But
well,
he was being supportive for Bruce.
Right. He was standing behind him, but he was hoping,
that Bruce would make the right call.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And the reason he was standing by his side was that breakdown that Bruce had where he said, I just want it to be over. And he starts sobbing. And Alfred was just like, okay, if this makes it over, then, if this will stop his pain, then I have to stand beside him on this. So,
yeah. So Bruce doesn't sign the document. Yay.
Right.
Just as in the nick of time, Jim Gordon and the GCPD show up to arrest Theo Gallivan.
That's right.
And Theo, in the little, as he's being taken into custody, quickly tosses the packet of information into the fire that nobody notices.
Except us.
Except us.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's all crispy fried and Bruce notices it finally. No!
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's what he was planning all along, to be fair.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if he had absolutely nothing and just totally was scamming him?
I think he was.
That would have been hilarious if Bruce opened the envelope, it's there's a big smiley face, sucker.
I think he had nothing.
I'm sure he did. Nothing up my sleeve, presto. Yeah.
Didn't know my own strength.
Exactly. Bullwinkle reset for you octogenarians out there.
That's right. I think he was messing with Bruce that whole time.
Yep.
He just wanted the company.
Yep.
Why would he give him anything?
I don't know. So lastly, we go back to Edward, who's traipsing through the woods after someone stole his sandwich.
Mm.
Where's my sandwich?
Yeah, somebody's been eating my sandwich, and it's all bloody.
And they've been sleeping in my bed. Oh, no.
That's right.
Yep. So he goes looking for the sandwich stealer, finds a mobile home in the woods, discovers an injured and exhausted penguin who begs him for help at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Please help me. Please. So we're finally getting a Riddler penguin team up.
And who's the medical examiner?
Yes, exactly.
Who can help him with his wound?
Maybe the Riddler?
Maybe. Right. And who can help Ed with some escapades?
Yep, the penguin.
That's right.
You scratch my supervillain back, I'll scratch yours.
Right. I love this team up.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
It's the best ever.
We've been waiting for it for quite a while.
Yep.
Especially at the end of, was it last season, where Penguin just kind of like turns up his nose at Edward, like being, this dorky loser guy.
Mm-hmm. And now he's seeing that this dorky loser guy was burying a couple people in the woods.
Hey,
and having a picnic right next to the bodies.
You're my kind of guy after all.
Right.
That's funny.
Yeah, you're my kind of weird.
We gotta hang. We
gotta hang. Yeah, that's right. You and me.
We'll be killing bros.
That's right. And he's lost Butch now.
Right. So he needs an ally.
That's right.
He's desperate. So yeah.
Right.
They kind of need each other at this stage.
This is an insider. Penguin has always been an outsider.
Right.
And now if he's got Enigma in his pocket, he has a real insider that
inside the GCPD.
That is a bad guy. I mean, not James Gordon, who is an insider and will help him every once in a while if he needs something. This is Ed, who has done bad things, who they might be able to partner up.
And help his agenda.
Right.
Right.
So this might be a really good pairing for the two of them.
Yeah, because remember, Penguin still wants revenge for his Theo killing his mom.
Exactly.
Or having his mom killed.
Right. Although right now it looks like everyone against Theo.
Yeah. Everybody loves Theo.
Right. No one is his friend right now.
Yep.
And I have to also give props to the girl who plays Silver St. Cloud, who also did one of those looks.
Natalie Allen Lind.
Yeah. She was giving Bruce a happy little "Hi, Bruce" in her sparkly outfit.
Yep.
And then just as she passes Bruce, her face goes
all dark and...
Yeah. She starts rolling her eyes like, oh, I can't believe I have to be nice to him.
Yeah, well, Celine is going to show up and give that girl what for.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope there's a beating involved.
Or a scratching.
Meow.
There we go. So what did you give this episode?
I gave it 8 shattered windshields. For the car.
For the car, yeah.
The wrecked car.
Right. I give this one 8 out of 10 bodies in the woods.
Very nice.
I should have done picnic baskets.
Picnic baskets?
The picnic basket?
Yeah, that's right. Hey, Yogi.
Well, boo-boo. God, we're just really going back to the old cartoons, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. These are the 50s.
I know. So, yeah, we need something a little more modern, I guess. All right, so next, Supergirl.
That's right. And we're going to fly through Supergirl.
Yeah, because, this one will be a little lighter. So, speaking of which, Fight or Flight, written by Michael Grassi and Rachel Schuchert, directed by Dermot Downs.
By the way, Michael Grassi has written for Degrassi, The Next Generation.
Really?
Yeah. And his last name is Grassi.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't watch this. I didn't watch the show, so.
Yeah, but still his last name is Degrassi.
Yep. Okay, so real quick, Supergirl has her interview with Kat. accidentally reveals, "Oh, guess what? I'm Superman's cousin."
Mm-hmm. Duh.
Don't.
Gotta go.
Yep. So of course, Kat plasters this everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Makes this her big exclusive.
Yep. Which allows one of Superman's villain
Villains,
buddies.
Reactron.
That's right.
Yeah, Reactron shows up basically going, "Well, I guess I can't defeat Superman, so I'm going to come and kill his cousin."
Right.
That's all part of my plan.
Now, do you remember Reactron from the comics?
I actually I did have his first appearance in Daring Adventures of Supergirl number 8.
Okay.
So
is that the one with the Doom Patrol in it?
That's the two-parter with the Doom Patrol,
okay.
8 and 9. I just recently bought them on digital.
Oh, okay.
They had a Supergirl sale, so I stocked up.
Cool. I know about them from the Doom Patrol.
Right.
Because I have all those, even the old Doom Patrol stuff. I have those.
Right.
But he's not really a big villain.
No, they've kind of raised his profile.
Yeah.
For the longest time, he wasn't a big villain.
Right.
And then Jeff Johns recently kind of brought him back not too long ago as, you know, how you had Metallo with the Kryptonite heart.
Mm-hmm.
Then, you know, they kind of developed Reactron as kind of Supergirl's version of Metallo.
Okay.
So like he's got the armored suit, and he's got like gold kryptonite in his chest.
Oh.
So
all right.
Yeah, so he got a little bit of an upgrade, but then they had the new 52 and things went out the window. But yeah.
All righty.
Yeah. But yeah, he's normally not like a major player, but he's kind of like a slowly. I would say he's like C level, trying to get to the B level.
Right. He was in a group of people fighting the Doom Patrol and Supergirl.
Right.
In that issue.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Sorry.
So that's all right. That's a quick rundown on Reactron. But Reactron's got it in for Superman because I guess Superman was there, caused the reaction or like explosion that killed his wife or something.
Mm-hmm.
So
and made him into Reactron.
Made him into Reactron. Yeah, exactly. So Reactron goes to like Lord Technology Labs, kidnaps Maxwell Lord because after a little throwdown with Supergirl, his suit gets ruined. He wants it fixed.
Or Maxwell Lord hires him.
Right. There's that.
Maybe.
But
that's just a theory.
But to be fair, Reactron had a really bad suit.
It is true.
It looked like a walking junk pile. I was kind of embarrassed.
Yeah, me too. It was terrible.
And then the guy's voice, the guy who plays Reactron, Chris Browning, is like, Supergirl! Like he's out of the WWE or something.
Yeah, he did sound like a grade 2 wrestler.
Really hammed it up.
I'm going to take you down.
Yeah, so this did not really help the show's credibility much.
Although the fights were better in this one.
The fights were good. I'll give you that. But there's Kara learns there's like a reactor meltdown. Oh wait, that's okay. She learns about Reactron's background. Kara goes to Reactron's hideout, manages to save Maxwell Lord, only to get badly injured by Reactron afterwards, which causes Superman to come in and basically save her ass.
Right.
So,
confirming it.
Yeah, so which I thought as a writer, I thought this was a big creative mistake at this stage.
Okay.
Because you had Supergirl that she really should have been like shown as capable of taking villains down herself, that she didn't need Superman.
Right.
But they're constantly making the Superman connection without actually actively introducing the character.
Mm-hmm.
So it just feels like that we don't have enough confidence in our superhero to stand by herself at this point.
Okay.
Now I understand she's new and she's learning. I get that.
Yeah, I think they're reinforcing that.
But I thought, it's just like, well,
in order to get the training montages.
Yes,
you're the best.
Around. Yeah. But I just thought that it just seemed like, okay, Supergirl fails again, better bring in Superman.
Yeah,
And
I know.
they play that up publicly so that
Yeah.
I know they're trying to create adversity for her to overcome,
Mhm.
but
I do. I get that.
as a viewer, shouldn't you be wanting your superhero to be confident?
Right. Well, at the end of the episode, she just turned things around
Hmm.
and she says, "I don't want you to interfere."
Right.
And I think that was part of the point, was that they were trying to take away that choice for her.
Yeah.
They were calling, James used his watch
Right.
to call in Superman and
The signal watch. Yeah.
right. And
Which I hope went z z z z z z
like it does in the
in the
comic.
comic book.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You don't think it actually went Z Z Z Z Z
It
Z?
better,
All right.
but probably not because we're not getting Jimmy Olsen with a bow tie. We're not getting.
James.
Yeah, he's James, not Jimmy.
It's
Although
James.
although
Don't call me Jimmy Olsen.
Lucy calls him Jimmy.
Yeah, but that might be why he wants
Well,
to
I'm
tell James.
sure, but
Yeah. He doesn't look very receptive to her.
yeah,
All right.
he should
Go
be
ahead.
called Jimmy. I'm sorry, but let's see what else.
James. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yep. So Kara gets Kara gets mad at James for calling Superman because Kara says she didn't want to rely on Superman. So even Kara's just like, dude, come on.
Mm-hmm.
I had it handled. And James is like, no, you didn't. So they have this big.
She kind of didn't, but
No, yeah, I know. So Cat throws this big formal party. Reactron breaks in, finds Supergirl, and then while James distracts Reactron, Supergirl covers her hand in lead to safely remove the power core from Reactron's chest
right.
and beats him.
And we also learned that Kat has a history with Maxwell Lord.
Right. So we'll see.
That was an interesting development too, I thought.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. And
that never happened in the comic.
we got more glowing red eyes from Hank Henshaw.
That's right. He hears something going on with Alex in a room.
Yeah.
And his eyes go all glowy.
Like, yeah, he gets all like Michael Jackson Thriller eyes at the end.
That's right.
But James's ex-fiance, speaking of Lucy, shows up and arrives in National City she wants to patch things up in their relationship. And Lucy is played by Jenna Dewan Tatum, who is married to Channing Tatum, who is going to be Gambit.
Yep.
So a little bit of a DC Marvel crossover there.
Well, I guess so.
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of, yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, they were in Step Up together.
Oh, were they?
Yes.
I don't follow, so.
I looked it up.
Oh, okay.
The other day.
I was going to say.
So, I've never seen it.
So, but yeah, at this point, they need to either like just completely ignore that Superman exists for a good while, or they need to cast the role, I think.
Okay. I don't think they can cast it.
Well, my point is, though, they're making references. They're actually calling him Superman, which was a nice improvement, as opposed to, oh, my cousin, or, yeah, the Man of Steel, or something.
Yeah, they didn't have a problem with calling him Superman. I don't think they can cast him.
Well, how about as Clark Kent, without actually having him as Superman? Because what got me thinking of this, Clark, he texts this message to Kara.
Wasn't that cute, though?
But he's Superman. He could fly there faster than the text. So why didn't he?
Yeah, but why would he?
Because he wants to see his cousin talk to her in person as opposed to through a text.
Well, one of the things I was saying is
a text that could be intercepted.
Intercepted. I get that. That's the first thing I thought of too. I don't think they're that close.
Well, still.
I know. I get where you're coming from. I thought the same thing.
He showed up to save her and then left.
Well, sure, he saves everyone.
Well, I understand that, but I mean, like while he's there after saving her, takes her out and says, "Hey, let's go to lunch."
He had to go save someone from a volcano.
Yeah.
Or he had to go put another baby into Lois.
He's got time. He's got time to text. He's got time to meet with
Yeah,
her.
I get that.
So
Uh,
that made me crazy.
It was a Doogie Howser moment there
Yes.
at the end. Do 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 do
Yeah,
do do
Doogie
do
and the
do.
computer. I missed that.
Yeah,
That was great.
I do
That
too.
was great. Yeah. So what'd you give this episode?
I gave it 8.5 tailored lead gloves
Okay.
because I liked it still.
I was a little harsher in this one.
I know.
So I gave it 7.5 out of 10 junky Reactron masks. Because that
His
was
outfit was not great.
That was embarrassing.
It was not great.
I mean, I understand, okay, it's a prototype.
Mm-hmm.
But come on. Come
Well,
on.
okay, I'm giving the show a little while to find its footing.
It better hurry up because the ratings are dropping.
Well,
I'm just saying.
how many? Okay,
The ratings are down for the second
I'm
week.
talking to you,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I know this is a moot point, but I think the Flash kind of took a few episodes to find its footing.
It did, but I think it was finding its footing a lot faster. No pun intended.
No, I think it was a little faster, but I think I'm going to give it a few more to find its footing. I mean, I'm going to watch it.
Oh, I'm going to watch it too, obviously.
So, but I think it's still, trying to get upright.
I would say that if we don't get anywhere, like if we don't kind of find it by episode 6, there's a problem. There's a big problem.
Maybe, but it has really good backing and good writers, and
yeah.
It's all the same people.
Some of them are different. But
the showrunners and everything from
Ali Adler's different.
She's great though.
Yeah, but maybe not for this. Some people have not so good.
Did you not like Chuck?
No, I didn't watch Chuck.
Chuck is amazing.
Okay. I trust you.
It is. It's a great show.
So let's just say, okay, we will reevaluate my opinion by episode 6.
Okay.
And we'll see how things.
I'm betting it's gonna.
I want it to improve. I want it to survive.
Okay. I'm betting it's gonna mature.
So let's hope so.
Okay.
So
next show.
Okay, next show, The Flash.
Yes.
Enter Zoom. Yes. And this was a big little. It started off a little quiet, and then it got really important at the end.
Yeah.
Serious throwdown there toward the end. Written by Gabrielle Stanton and Brooke Eichmeyer, directed by J.J. Maccaro.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 6 of the second season. We open with Dr. Light getting the upper hand on the Flash and stealing his chest emblem.
Right.
And you're like, wait, what did I just miss? What did I just miss?
But again,
they go like 6 hours earlier.
Right. And then they fake you out into thinking, oh, look, it's a fake out. He's safe.
Yeah. Right.
And then they fake you out again.
Yes. Right. So
because foreshadowing.
They keep you guessing this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So the Earth 2 Dr. Light escapes from her containment cell after Barry was hoping that she'd stop them, or she'd help them stop Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't quite work out. So what happens? They end up going to the Earth 1 Linda Park.
Mm-hmm. Earth Prime.
Well, no,
Aren't they Earth Prime?
No, because
I know they call it Earth 1.
Well, I'm just saying, like Professor Stein said, okay, we're Earth 1 and they're Earth 2.
I know.
So it's
Aren't
Earth 1.
they really Earth Prime, though?
Well, no, because technically we're here on Earth Prime.
You're the worst, John.
Yeah. I'm serious. Go back to the comics.
I know. All right, fine. Earth 1.
Earth 1. So,
I'm still going to call it Earth Prime.
Well, why don't you say regular Linda Park? How's that?
Okay, regular.
Regular Linda. As opposed to Earth 2 Linda. But anyway.
Earth Prime Linda.
You're killing me. You're killing me here.
It's the regular one from the comics is Earth Prime.
Now, it used to be Earth 1 and Earth 2 back in the day.
Yeah, but it's now.
I know that. So where's Earth 1 then?
I don't know. It's one of them.
Okay. All right. So anyway,
maybe it's the same.
when regular Linda agrees to
Okay.
impersonate Dr. Light,
This Earth's Linda.
this Earth's Linda,
Okay.
fine, you win. You always win.
No, I'm compromising.
All right.
We're calling it something else.
Okay. So Linda goes through her little "You're the best
Around.
around"
Yeah,
training montage.
that's right.
It's kind of fun. This is a pretty funny training sequence because Cisco has set up these like cutouts of everybody, and she's supposed to not shoot the good people and only shoot the Flash.
Right.
And the
And
Flash
not
is
only
cut
does
out.
that not work, but
Yeah,
Cisco hasn't even set up the little things to work right.
right, exactly. So they kind of misfire and almost kill people.
Right.
Way to go, Cisco.
Right. Ow, I'm on fire.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, my bad.
yeah. It's like
Let me get
if I
screwdriver.
was Linda at this point after being set on fire, I would have been like, "You guys are on your own.
See ya.
Bye."
Right.
Yeah. See ya.
You guys.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Right.
I'm going back to picture news.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, but she finally sort of gets a handle on it.
Right. She does pretty good, actually.
She does pretty good. There's a nice little argument sort of between Joe and Barry.
Mm-hmm.
Joe accuses Barry of going after Zoom to overcompensate for the way things went with the Reverse Flash.
Right.
Barry not happy
No.
with this. So he ends up going to Linda's house, and that's regular Linda,
Right.
to kind of give her a pep talk because she's freaking out about being able to impersonate Dr. Light.
Right.
So to kind of like talk her down off the ledge, he unmasks again. So at this point, everybody but Patty Spivot knows that he's the Flash.
Right. And she says, I made out with the Flash, which made me almost spit out my drink.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I thought that was hilarious.
Well, it's kind of an understandable reaction.
And then I thought to myself, you're going to make out with more than one Flash.
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, maybe. Because, yeah, if they introduce Wally West and then Linda will hook up with Wally.
Right.
So, yeah.
Who's another Flash?
Which I'm okay with because that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be. But yeah, you almost had sex with a Flash there, Linda.
Mm-hmm.
It came this close.
That's right.
So, yeah.
And I heard he can last a little longer than.
It's not just that whole, I don't get that fastest man alive thing. Come on. That's kind of ridiculous, isn't it?
I don't know. I wouldn't know.
I'm sure it's ridiculous.
As far as he goes.
Yeah.
No.
I think that's just, yeah. Anyway.
And remember, Jay lost his speed, so maybe that's why Caitlin likes him.
Well, if that was the case, do you think Linda would have stuck around with Wally West in the comics? I don't think so.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah. They had kids.
Yeah. And you notice we got shown her penchant for baking and cooking in this episode?
No, I didn't catch that.
Oh, Barry shows up and she's like cooking everything in the house.
Okay.
There's a whole table set with food everywhere on it. And she's like, yeah, I know. Cooking helps when I get stressed out.
Okay.
And if you remember, in the comics, Wally is always eating. Like, always.
Interesting.
Eating.
Interesting.
And I thought, well, that makes sense.
I didn't make that connection, but that's a good connection.
No, he is he is like the one that's always munching on something.
That's a great observation. You're right.
Yeah.
So that's a good call. Cisco thanks Harry for help.
Mm-hmm.
He basically Cisco goes to this part of this episode trying to touch Harrison Wells to get a vibe off him. But
he's not subtle.
No, not subtle at all. Because he like, oh, let me get this cup of liquid or whatever. Oh, I spilled it everywhere. Oh, and it's just.
It's the worst.
It's pretty embarrassing, really.
Yeah, it is.
They accidentally touch, and then Cisco gets his vibe of Zoom interrogating Jessie, his daughter Jessie, or perhaps his daughter Jessie in the cell.
Right. Well, he says it's his daughter,
Yeah,
and he acts like it's his daughter.
but is it his
And
daughter?
well, he calls her Jessie Quick too.
Well, that's his nickname for her.
Yeah.
But Andrew Kreisberg, editor or executive producer, went on Twitter and said that Jesse's full name is Jesse Chambers Wells.
Oh, Chambers.
Now, Chambers is the last name of Johnny Quick, Jesse's father in the comics.
Right.
Not her mother,
Right.
because that's Libby Lawrence, and she marries Johnny Chambers, Johnny Quick, to become Libby Lawrence Chambers.
Right.
And they have Jesse.
Right.
So I'm kind of wondering what happened to Johnny Quick, Johnny Chambers.
Right. That's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
Let's see where that goes.
Yeah. So I just thought it was really odd.
Yeah.
But yeah, he flat out says her full name is Jessie Chambers Wells. And Chambers isn't a weird middle name to just say, okay, your middle name's Chambers.
So could Zoom
be Johnny Quick?
Mm-hmm.
Possibly. Might want to throw that onto the speculation pile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sent Charles an email.
Yep.
When my brain was going
do we want, now that we're talking about it, do you want to just run down real quick who we think maybe could be?
Sure.
Okay. So maybe Johnny Quick.
Yeah, now.
Yeah, now. Yeah, see, I put something in your head, didn't I?
Yeah.
Now, the other popular theories, and I kind of see where all these come into play, that Zoom could be Henry Allen from Earth 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's kind of got John Wesley Shipp's build and eyes.
Right.
So that's been a popular theory, but that could be just a complete fake out.
Right.
Or just a stunt guy that happens to look like, close to John Wesley Shipp.
Right.
But another
He's
theory.
Got the J.
Yeah.
He's got Jay's build too.
Yeah. Another theory is that, well, guess what? Eddie Thawne's probably not dead after all.
Right.
And became Zoom after going through that vortex and would have an understandable grudge.
Sure.
For the guy who stole his girlfriend Iris.
Right.
So maybe blames, him for becoming the Zoom creature or something.
Right.
So
there's also an Eobard Thawne, an incarnation of him that essentially does go back in time and gets so obsessed with Barry that he changes his face to look like Barry Allen. And I think it would be weird if he took that mask off and he looked like Barry Allen.
Yeah. But the build's all wrong.
I know it is.
So it looked kind of.
But that could be a fake
out. With Barry's face on that big body.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it looked kind of.
And then there's that really weird Hunter Zolomon thing.
Yeah, the Zoom, the actual Zoom.
Right.
Because in the comics, Wally West's the Third Flash. There's a cop there in Keystone City. His name's Hunter Zolomon, and he ends up getting paralyzed.
Mm-hmm.
And through various events, he basically ends up getting super speed and becoming this villain called Zoom.
Right.
So
and it's the cosmic treadmill.
Right.
Which they have mentioned this season.
Right. Because basically, because Hunter's kind of obsessed with this cosmic treadmill.
Right. And he was injured in an attack by Gorilla Grodd, and that's also going to be in this season.
Yeah, and just to show you how obvious Jeff Johns is as a writer, Zolomon, this has the word or the letter ZOOM in the last name.
Right.
So.
Exactly.
Yeah. But so basically he ends up becoming like the kind of like the Wally West Flash's arch enemy in a lot of ways. His own Reverse Flash.
Right.
And there's a whole big, drama with him and Linda and all that. So yeah, it's a huge big storyline. So
right.
Hunter Zolomon, definitely a possibility. And would be appreciated because, hey, if you got a guy named Zoom, you should have Hunter Zolomon. But
yeah, but I mean, I don't know that
But
that's the thing. It's
but
just
they haven't really introduced a Hunter Zolomon yet to make you give that
no,
connection. But
they haven't.
it's only episode, was it here? Episode 6. So we didn't really get the Harrison Wells connection until last season, until about 2/3 through the season.
That's true.
So
But
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
It's obviously someone that has a huge grudge against
Yes.
Not Barry so much.
Harrison Wells.
Harrison.
Harry Wells.
Yeah, Harry Wells.
I did like Cisco's little like whatever Harry.
Yeah.
That was great.
That's some bad hat, Harry.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you did there.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. So, speaking of Dr. Wells, the other Dr. Wells, he creates the speed dampening serum, and
still being a dick.
Yeah, still a dick. Instead of porch dick, he's kind of lab dick.
Yeah.
He's lab dick.
And he's moody.
Yeah. Just like, dude, like maybe you should like have some chocolate or something.
Right.
Take a time out.
He is so moody.
Yeah. So the team stages that fight that we see at the beginning of the episode with
You're the best.
With Dr. Light.
Yeah. Yes, our Linda.
And that was kind of a really funny sequence between, Dr. Light and the Flash.
Right.
Where she's kind of like she's reading off a script, and it's really bad dialogue.
Right. Come out, Flash.
Yes.
So I can kill you.
And even that dialogue, I posted this on Twitter, it was still better than the dialogue on the Sony PlayStation series Powers.
It is kind of.
Just saying.
You're right.
Just saying.
You're
just
right.
Throwing that out there. So she takes his emblem. They throw it in one of the breaches, trying to trick Zoom into showing up. But they're waiting an hour. Nothing happens. Very well timed. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Zoom ends up going, instead of doing what they wanted, Zoom goes after Linda. She shows up, like, waits for her outside. Like, Iris and her are kind of like girl bonding over bottles of beer. And then Linda hears something. She goes outside and Zoom's there. What?
Nothing.
Oh, I thought you were about to. You're laughing about something. Okay. So Barry shows up. There's the big, finally we get the Zoom Flash confrontation. Zoom is way faster than Barry.
Yep.
And easily kicks his ass.
Yep.
Literally kicks his ass. Whips, like, basically wails on him, knocks him unconscious, drags him all over the city.
Like a little limp ragdoll.
Ragdoll, yeah. Basically, he's like, I'm totally owning you everywhere. I'm, like, all of your favorite hangout spots. Yeah. So, like, he goes to the local news, and he goes, like, at that point, I kind of thought that he was going to, like, rip off Barry's mask and expose his identity. He doesn't, for some reason. I would have if I was Zoom. But then he goes to the Central City Police Department station, like, hey, here's your big superhero. I just kicked his ass. You guys.
And they shoot at him, and he catches all the bullets.
Yeah, he's like, drip, ting, 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 ting.
Now, his gloves have little points at the ends of all his fingers.
They've got claws.
Oh,
he's got Zoom claws, and he's got this weird mouth going.
I know. It looks like the Scarecrow's mouth.
Yeah.
And the Batman's.
Right. It's kind of like perforated.
Right.
In like a little jagged teeth kind of motif.
Weird.
Yeah, he's like, ah. So he's all, Zoom scary. Yeah.
Arg.
Grr, arg.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah. So Zoom goes back to Star Labs, unmasked Barry there. So I don't know why he didn't do it earlier. Then stabs him with his claw hand.
Right.
Stabby. And yeah. And then Cisco, while he's distracted, shoots him with that speed dampening serum, which hurts Zoom sort of,
Right.
but it's not enough to take him down. He gets away.
Right. It's enough that
It's
he
enough.
figures if they get him
Yeah,
again,
he gets him away from Barry,
he'll
basically.
get caught. Yeah.
So
Right.
that's about it. That's all it
So
really
he runs.
accomplishes. So he runs. Wells ends up revealing afterwards that Zoom has his daughter Jessie,
Mm-hmm.
and then he came to Earth One. Well, the Earth
This
Prime,
Earth.
this Earth, to
Yeah.
stop Zoom.
You can call it Earth 1. It's fine.
That's all right. I don't want to upset you.
No, it doesn't upset me. I just
Okay.
like arguing.
Okay. You're just confrontational tonight. I see how it is.
No, I just like arguing. It's
Okay.
fun.
All right. So Barry wakes up after after being injured, and here's the cliffhanger. He discovers that he can't feel his legs.
Right.
Oh,
Okay. I have a question for you.
yeah.
He just woke up.
Right.
He still has bruising.
Right.
Could he just be not healed yet?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm sure that will be the case because he seems to be moving around in the trailer.
Okay.
He might have like a temporary paralysis, but then he will heal because of his speed.
It takes him a while to heal.
Yeah,
Right?
but I mean, if he got seriously injured, it would take him a little longer to heal. So
Right.
he's got to heal what normally would take person months and years to recover from.
He might take a few days.
Yeah, if that. We don't
Right.
know, but yeah. I mean, because we've got Grodd next week.
Yeah. He'll be fine.
Yeah, so.
I was just thinking to myself, well, these were pretty serious injuries,
Yeah.
Barry.
Yeah.
Don't panic.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, we've got this big crossover with Arrow coming up.
Right.
So
He'll
I
be
don't think you're going to be on the bench that long.
No.
Just calm down. But Barry doesn't know that. But
Right. I can't feel my legs.
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Robert Klein.
That's where that is. Yeah.
Yes. But it's I
Saturday
can't
Night Live.
stop my legs.
Yeah, I can't stop my legs. But yeah, there it goes again.
Yeah.
I remember that now. Okay, that's another old reference.
It is.
Wow. Okay, so what'd you give this episode?
I gave it 8.5 silly Cisco standees.
Those were pretty funny, weren't they?
Yeah, the ones where he was taking a picture and his
Yeah, dorky
Kind of
smile, like
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
His were the only ones that were silly. Everyone else was just standing stoically or
Yes.
Yeah.
I could just see Cisco. Now you gotta pose hold on while you take me your picture for your cutout.
Mhm. I bet you he just took regular pictures of them and cut them out.
I would think so.
But of course he had to make his own.
Yes.
So he was like
he mugged for it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I gave this one we're totally in sync on this one. I gave this one 8.5 as well, but I gave it 8.5 stolen chest emblems.
Yeah. They don't grow on trees, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, Cisco didn't like that.
Cisco points that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what are they expensive?
He puts a new one on. He has to make it.
Just get the damn 3D printer and print me one.
I think that's where he did it.
He had to have.
Yeah.
I mean, my brother-in-law has a 3D printer, so I know how easy it is to print
What's
that
the
stuff.
big deal, right?
Yeah, just calm down.
Right.
Well, you have to go get in a cartridge or something.
Oh no.
Oh noes.
That cost $10.
Oh no. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. So what's
All right.
next?
So next we have iZombie. And
Yep.
we're gonna whip through this one too, real quick.
Narrowly averted danger in this episode.
Yeah, totally. Max Wager. Get it? Max Wager. It's a pun.
I get it.
So
They do that in every episode.
I know they do. Written by Graham Nords, directed by John Kretchum. This one, it's essentially Liv's a gambler, or there's a whole big deal with this guy that he's rigging college sport gambling, and then gets killed.
Mhm.
So Liv, of course, is like, well, this is going to be interesting this week, eating this guy's brain.
Mhm.
Now, if I was her, going to eat a gambling addict's brain, wouldn't I just completely hide my credit cards and cash and
Yes.
first before
I would.
so that I couldn't bet away all my money?
Mhm.
but she doesn't. And so this investigation ends up leading Liv and Clive to this barber shop where the barber there is like the city's bookie pretty much. Like everybody comes to this guy.
Right.
And
like barbershop.
And he even has like a lawyer there in the barber shop, which I thought was pretty funny, to advising him to say stuff hypothetically.
Right.
That was pretty good. I like that. So this barbershop ends up getting frequented by the Mr. Boss guy.
Yeah.
Who visits Peyton to threaten her to stop her investigations against him. Like she's got her whole big crime organization board. And he comes in and is like, no. I kind of like that he comes in and corrects it, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah.
He puts himself at the top. It's like, no, you got this all wrong.
Yeah.
And then just threatens her.
It was funny, but also like
menacing. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And which I thought was kind of funny is like this dorky little guy being the crime lawyer, which is kind of funny for a quirky show.
I like how he's moving all the guys around.
Yes.
On the board, like, okay, that guy's down here now.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, you got that guy wrong.
I'm updating. Yeah, it's like completely correcting it. So that was funny. Clive ends up going on a date with Dale from the FBI.
Yep. And he gets caught.
Yeah, well, they go out and have ice cream. No, they go out and who happens by but Major and Liv were having ice cream.
That's right.
And like Clive's like, ooh, let me talk to this guy. And over the course of the discussion, Major ends up learning about the FBI investigations.
Of his new stuff.
Yeah, of his new stuff. Because all these missing people going on.
And of course, Liv is oblivious to these crimes.
Right. So when eventually this has got to bite Major hard in the ass.
Right.
Right? Okay.
So he already knows that Clive is on to him for that other stuff.
Right. And Clive knows that Major knows that he's on to him for the like Suzuki and all that.
Right.
At the Meet Cute, that show that what happened to Meet Cute.
Right. And now there's these other crimes that he's also committing.
But Clive doesn't know about that, made that connection with Major yet.
No, he hasn't yet. But he's working on them. So
all roads are going to lead there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks bad.
It looks really bad. But over at the mortuary, Blaine's father shows up, Robert Nepper, who's always fun to watch.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, I like him a lot too.
I don't think he's going to show up again, though.
He might. He's just kind of frozen, right? He's a zombie and he's in the freezer.
I don't think so.
What happens to zombies in the freezer? They can thaw them out and they can be active again.
I think that he was taken out before he got put in that freezer.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. I think he's because otherwise, why wouldn't he just dispose of the body? Like he'd been dump him over the bridge, right?
Okay. Yeah.
He's been disposing of all the bodies over that bridge.
Okay.
But yeah. So yeah, he keeps Blaine's father in the little storage locker freezer. Deep storage. Okay. Yeah. So it's like one of those. What's that reality show where they go to? What they have the storage lockers that they go. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You know the one I'm talking about. Okay, well, that one. Maybe they open up the storage locker, and then there's
a bunch of frozen.
There's a freezer full of zombies inside. Wouldn't that be great?
Storage wars and stuff.
Storage wars. That's it. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's it.
There's several of them, but yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So anyway, but before all that happens, Blaine's father shows up, tells Blaine, "Guess what? You're working for me now, son." And, you better do what I say, otherwise I'll make you a zombie again. Which I'm wondering if he can actually do that. Because I'm wondering if Major and Blaine have a zombie immunity.
Me too.
Because they have like some residue where inside them where they can now detect zombies.
Right.
So what if they had an antibody inside them?
But how are they going to know that?
And eventually, that maybe Ravi will figure this out. Like, hey, I've just created this zombie antidote, or like immunity, so that you can't become a zombie if you're injected with this.
Right. Yeah, we'll have to find out.
At least until some idiots decide, oh, we're not going to immunize against zombies, but anti-vaxxers.
Right. Yeah.
But that's a whole nother topic.
It makes them artistic.
Exactly. Oh, I see what you did there.
Do you?
Yeah, because Liv became artistic after that one artist brain that she ate, right?
See?
And you're confusing with autistic. Yes, I got it.
Okay.
I see. I told you I'm in your brain. I know what you're thinking.
Okay, good.
We're in sync.
Good. It's simpatico.
We're simpatico. So he wants Blaine to abduct this and kill this son of his business rival so that he can eat his brains.
Mm-hmm. So that he can get secrets.
Yes. Secrets.
SEEKRITs.
Got it.
Secrets.
Now, there was a great little scene in this episode that I really liked. Liv and Major playing strip poker over Skype.
That was so cute. Wasn't it?
And at least until somebody hacks into their Skype call and... Karen? Oh. I heard the Karen sound effect there for a little bit.
Yeah, is this one though that I meant to do?
Oh yeah, doing the strip poker over Skype, and then they had recorded a podcast over it.
No, it was adorable what they were doing.
Yeah, it was
so cute. I like it. He stands up to take his pants off, and you don't see it, but she says, "Thongs."
Exactly.
And then he says, I had to step up my game or something like that.
Right.
And then she takes off her shirt and she's not wearing a bra. He says, well, that did it for me.
Yep.
It's so great. I loved it.
Hopefully he had the Kleenex box handy. Just saying. That's all I'm saying. Don't want to get too gross. All right.
No, that was just funny.
Yeah, it was. So Blaine goes to a nursing home to tell his grandfather of his plan to teach Blaine's father a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
So after he tells his grandfather this, then he smothers his grandfather with a pillow.
Mm-hmm.
He's not happy about it, but he does it.
Yeah. Because this is how he's going to...
Yeah, this is part of the plan. Yeah, exactly. Ravi ends up discovering that, guess what? Condoms don't protect against zombie.
That's right.
Zombie virus.
Because they're tiny.
Yeah, so it'll just eat right through those condoms.
Tiny. I did like that he made balloon animals out of the condoms.
That was pretty funny. And then Clive's like, "Oh, was there like a clown or something nearby or whatever?" I forget.
It was a dog.
Oh yeah, no.
No. Was there a clown in here? Yeah.
There a birthday party clown or something that was making his balloons. Yeah.
Also, he said something about the guys at the drugstore look at you funny if you buy every kind of condom on the shelf.
That was a good line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny.
So, needless to say, Liv and Major cannot have sex unless. But again, what if Major has an immunity, doesn't know about it, and then they can have all kinds of sex?
Right. All kinds of crazy sex.
So, yeah, at least until he gets brought in by Johnny Law.
And it will be Clive.
Yeah, it will be. It should be Clive.
Yeah.
It should be. Well, with
except he's killing zombies.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is the Lord's work. Isn't that what you say when someone's doing good things? He's doing the Lord's work.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. All right. Where were we? Oh yeah. Lastly, at the mortuary, Major removes his grandfather's brain, puts it in a little Tupperware tub.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just file this away for later.
Right.
Like sorry, Gramps. That's
right. And that's the brain he's planning on giving his dad.
Yeah.
So when his dad goes to eat that brain to find out I
think it's business rival's son, like to eat the son of his business rival, so he knows what's going on.
Right. He's going to get his
own dad's brain.
Right.
Yeah.
That's which
is just like Ice cold.
So sadistic.
That's just
Yeah.
dark.
But Blaine and Liv have a conversation as well about dark Blaine.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of funny too.
Yeah.
I like that Blaine.
But it all might be moot because Major captures Blaine's father, and we talked about it. They just dumps him in the storage locker freezer. So
right.
Yeah. Which again, he's got to still be able to be brought back because we know zombies can be refrigerated and then reheated, and so then they become active again, thawed out.
Put them in the microwave at 50%. Is that it?
Boop boop boop.
50% never works for thawing things out.
Yeah.
They're always very uneven and kind of wet. I don't like that.
No, you just put a paper towel over the zombie.
Oh, okay. Do you?
Yeah, and that's how, you put...
And it absorbs that?
Well, yeah, you put a wet paper towel, just lay it on top, and then the zombie kind of like is nice and moist.
Okay.
He's not so dry.
It holds in the moisture. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of absorbs the moisture from the towel.
Okay.
That's a little microwave cooking tip from yours truly.
Okay. Excellent.
See all the things.
So for you Walking Dead, iZombie, Fear the Walking Dead fans,
right?
That's how to reheat a zombie in your industrial microwave.
See, and you thought you wouldn't learn anything on the Phantom Zone podcast. I just proved you wrong. Ha!
That's right.
So there. So what'd you give this episode?
I give it 7 fishy turtles.
7?
I didn't think it was outstanding. It was fine.
It was okay. I'm pretty close to you. I gave it 7.5. Freezers in a storage locker.
Yeah, so, this season's not moving along.
It doesn't. It's almost like it's being drawn out deliberately because they have more episodes.
Yeah, right.
But the pacing hasn't really kept up as a result.
Right. I like the stuff between Liv and Major.
Yeah.
But everything else is just like
they keep setting up, but we haven't gotten the big payoff episodes.
Right. Nothing.
Not yet.
Anyway. So yeah, I really do feel like it's just
Major's just begging to be arrested.
Right.
And so
there's no conflict.
Yeah. There's no Liv finds out about her roommate.
Right.
So yeah, it's just kind of treading water.
Right.
At the moment. It's not horrible. It's fun to watch, but
oh yeah, it is. I still like the show. I mean, a 7 is no slouch.
No, but it could be better.
But we're at the 6th episode in, which is a third of the season almost, and
it would have been halfway through last season.
Right. And I just feel like we haven't gotten anywhere yet. Yeah. So that's a 7 for me.
Yeah. Okay. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Episode 7 of the 3rd season, Chaos Theory.
That's right.
Written by Lauren LaFranc, directed by David Solomon. And this is where we find out why Andrew Garner is now Lash.
That's right.
And doesn't bode well for May in this episode.
No. But it is easy to explain how he became Lash.
Because they start off with a nice little happy scene with them on a Maui beach. And yes, we used to have our problems, but now we're older and wiser, and then we're gonna move forward, and it's all gonna be great.
Okay, I loved that when I first started watching this episode. It does that beginning thing,
yeah,
and then when the logo turns on, it's all this like happy Hawaiian music, and I was like, okay, what is this? What is this?
I was waiting for okay, are we doing Tahiti? No,
right. What
because of Coulson.
Going on this music.
Yeah. So
and then you see Agent May looking off into the sunset in front of a green screen.
Yeah. And things go downhill from there. So May confronts Garner, Andrew. He explains that while he was researching for S.H.I.E.L.D., he opened this ledger of known Inhumans that belonged to Daisy's mom. Crazy Daisy's mom.
Right.
And that ends up that ledger was booby-trapped to release the Terrigen mists on the reader.
That's
right.
Like,
surprise, you're going to be either Inhuman or dead. Have a nice day.
Right. So only people that could absorb the mist and live would be able to read the journal.
So once again, Daisy's mom, a bit of a dick.
Yes.
So yeah.
And it turns out encases him in this stuff,
Yep.
and he kind of resembles Lash for a minute, and then it like flakes off of him. And he says it makes him feel complete.
Right. I like how it flaked off, but didn't leave any residue on his nice white shirt.
I know. Weird, right?
Yeah, weird. I don't know. I thought it was...
But it's all over his floor and
Yeah, exactly. There's little pebbles or whatever, but yeah, no, it looks perfect on his shirt. They didn't even stain it.
Nope,
That was
nothing.
nice. That was nice. He doesn't have to go to the dry cleaners now.
Mm-hmm.
So Garner found out that whenever he was drawn to an unworthy inhuman, he ended up transformed into Lash and then killed that guy, killed that inhuman. And after finding this out, he decided, okay, I'm going to break things off with Agent May.
Right.
So
does that mean Lincoln is unworthy?
Because
he turned into Lash.
Well, yeah,
in the
yes.
hospital.
He's been wanting to get to Lincoln, yeah. So I'd say so. Whatever unworthy is.
Or he thinks he is, I guess.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what his criteria is.
Yeah, me either.
I'm just like, okay, you're worthy. Like he doesn't seem to like go after Daisy.
Right.
So
he hasn't, at least.
Yeah, because I mean he's been all over S.H.I.E.L.D. and hasn't tried to attack Daisy.
I think at the hospital it was Lincoln.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure it was. For whatever reason. Coulson ends up joining Rosalind Price for a meeting with the POTUS about this outbreak of enhanced people that all of a sudden is all over the place.
Yeah, they also joined together.
That was a really interesting meeting, apparently, with the President of the United States.
Oh, they never got that far,
well,
but they got further.
No, yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah.
But that ends up getting interrupted by Lincoln, who figured out that Lash must have had access to that ledger.
Right. And who got the ledger?
Andrew Garner, yes. So S.H.I.E.L.D. and the ATCU track down Garner and May, find out that, oh, guess what? Garner's has his like ex-wife hostage, has her handcuffed up. So they're
because May figured it out before they did.
And apparently Andrew's really into the kinky.
Yep, exactly.
So it's just foreplay, really. But Coulson tries to talk down Garner. Garner's instincts want him to kill Lincoln, and after Lincoln attacks Lash, only May is able to calm him down and return him to his normal form. Right. Then Lincoln warns Lash that that Lash form will soon be permanent. So
stop turning into him.
Yeah, you might want to stop turning into Lash because you could be stuck that way.
Right.
If you're not careful.
Stop making faces.
Exactly.
They're gonna stay that way.
They'll freeze like that. Yeah, exactly. Nice.
Only in his case.
Right.
It would be true.
I'll be this big hulking dude with really spiky hair.
That's right.
Yep.
Lash smash.
Lash smash.
Right.
Yep.
And I was actually, I knew what May was going to say.
Right.
As soon as Coulson walked up to her when she had gotten Andrew into the containment unit.
Yeah.
When she shoots at him, and Coulson comes up behind her and says, "How did you know that wasn't going to kill him?" Did you know?
Oh yeah, I knew it. I didn't. It's right. It's such a cliche.
I know. It's such a trope that I was like, "Oh, she's going to say she didn't know."
Yep. Of course she did.
And they capture him. They put him in the containment unit, and he's all mad because Lash smash. His hand comes up against the glass.
Yep.
He's very angry.
So yeah, they're basically got him on ice until, excuse me, hopefully the ATCU can develop their cure.
Right.
Yeah. Fitz tells Simmons that he found some way possibly to open the portal to rescue the guy she really shouldn't rescue. But
do you think?
I'm thinking.
He seemed nice.
Yeah, well, the appearances can be deceiving.
That is true.
So, and there's a reason all the other people were dead and he survived.
I'm not good at picking people that aren't good on the show.
Yeah, so I'm thinking.
Yeah. I
But
just like that
so
guy.
he figured out how to restore her cell, like her repair her SIM card and all that.
Hmm.
So we watched the video that she recorded where she talks about her feelings for Fitz.
Yeah, that was
And
sweet.
Fitz asks her, "Well, you were just dehydrated, right?" And she
Hmm.
says, "No, I was absolutely clear-headed when I said that."
Right. But then he sees the picture of her with that guy.
Yeah, but still, she tells him, "Okay, so yes, I was absolutely clear-headed. So what do we do about that?"
Hmm. Yeah, but he still has a fit when he sees that picture.
I know that.
He's not very happy when he sees
No,
that.
he's not happy, but she tells Fitz that she has feelings for him.
Yeah, in no uncertain terms. I know.
So
But guys,
yes, I know.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's always that.
Yeah, because Fitz does get mad when he sees that guy's picture and
He throws stuff.
smacks stuff around the lab. Yeah.
He does. And I like when Hunter and Bobby come over to him
Yep.
and they look up and they go, "Oh, is that the guy?" And Fitz turns around like, "Rrr."
Fitz smash.
Right. And they're like, "Oh no,
Oh, he
okay."
has to do it with Scottish accent. Fitz smash.
Right. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Backing away now.
Right. Right.
Woo, look at the time. Gotta go. Bye. Yeah, feet don't fail me now.
Yeah, and then he shows them the very tenuous link between
Yeah.
the symbol on the rock and the symbol on the guy's spacesuit.
Yeah. If you turn it upside down,
It's a space shuttle.
it's a space shuttle. Yeah. Whoa, what's up with that?
And the etching on the wall looks kind of like.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand it's gonna be a link on the show,
Right.
but come on. In real life, that wouldn't
I know.
be a link, right?
No.
Because it's a space shuttle.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for validating my.
You are totally correct on this. You called it.
Thank
So lastly, a big scene was that Ward ends up meeting with Gideon Malik, played by Powers Booth,
Whom I love.
He's great. Tells Ward, "Dude, you need to step up your game. Step your game up."
Right.
And think on a bigger scale.
Yeah, because he's been on the losing end of things
Yeah,
lately.
pretty much. He's asking for the wrong things. So Ward says he's going to cut off S.H.I.E.L.D's head, i.e. Coulson.
Right.
Which means it will never grow back.
Right.
Because God knows they couldn't get another director.
What?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, they could.
Exactly.
May, most likely.
May or what's her name? Shoot, I can't remember her name. Nick Fury's assistant in the Avengers.
Oh yeah. From
Her.
How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, her.
Yeah.
I can't remember the character's name. I'm blanking.
I can't either.
It's late. We've had a lot.
Okay.
So Malik gets a call from Rosalind, who apologizes for this delay at NORAD and promises to bring him in soon. Yeah, exactly.
There's some bringing in.
So yeah, there's some entering, isn't there?
That's right. There is.
There is. Because who walks out at that moment but Coulson, where they discuss breakfast.
That's right.
So
and it's actually bad placement because someone shows up and doesn't like that they're there.
Yeah.
And can I just say, horrible special effects?
Right.
Because Lash picks her up and drags her over a wall, and you can clearly see that it's a doll.
Yes.
That he drags over a wall.
Right.
Clearly, because the legs are all floppy. It looks like a Saturday Night Live skit. It's terrible.
Well,
it really is terrible.
They spent a lot on their little ship.
Yeah.
Zephyr 1.
Yeah. So I urge you all to go back and look at that when he drags her over like a half wall inside the building. It's terrible.
I'm totally gonna do that because I didn't really catch that. I might have been tweeting at that moment. I might have missed that. So yeah.
It's really bad. Her feet, like he drags her over the wall like this, and her feet go. I mean, it's just terrible.
That's one of the dangers of live tweeting, I guess.
Yeah. It looks like a blow-up doll.
That's
That the feet just aren't blown up all the way.
they kind of flop over.
That's
Well, hello, Mr. Floppy.
right. And then he throws her out and Daisy saves her. So, I mean, does that mean that she's going to soften towards Inhumans now that she's been saved by one?
That's a good question. Or is she really Hydra? Or something else?
Yeah, because it's kind of an irrational hatred.
Yeah.
Of them.
But I'm kind of wondering if Gideon Malik and Rosalind are actually working for another organization.
Do you think?
Yes.
To infiltrate those two agencies?
Yeah, wouldn't it be interesting if that was actually a version of Hammer from the comics? With Gideon Malik kind of being like this version of Norman Osborn. And then Rosalind Price being a version of Victoria Hand, who got killed off on the show.
Right.
So maybe they're Hammer.
That is interesting.
I don't know. I'm just speculating.
But she's with Coulson, so.
Yeah, but is she? Is she just
No, I know. She could just be
playing him.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so yeah. It's a spy show, so yeah. Oh yeah.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
They were showing the sparks.
All right, so what'd you give this one?
I gave it 8.5 hog faces. That is what Hunter calls the other guy.
Hog face?
Yeah, when he shows up and he says, "Is that the other guy?" and Fitz turns around and looks at him, he goes, "Oh, well, he does have a hog face."
Oh, that's nice. I give this one 8 Ledger's booby trap with Terrigen Mist.
Yep. Very nice.
All right.
It was a good episode.
It was a good episode.
Except for the floppy feet.
Yeah. I got to watch that now. That might make it better. That might raise my grade. I'm going to give it an extra half point for that. Just for the Mystery Science Theater.
As soon as you're done here, seriously, go look right at that part when he drags her over to the window.
All right. So let me hurry up so I can do that.
Yep.
Arrow, episode 5 of the 4th season, Lost Souls, written by Beth Schwartz. And what is it here? I can't read my writing. Emilio Ortega Aldrich, directed by Antonio Negrete. And we have basically find out what happened to Ray Palmer. This episode.
It's the 6th episode.
6th episode of the 4th season. So we have Felicity continuing her search for Ray with Curtis. And in the process, Oliver shows up. So Curtis finally gets to meet Oliver.
I don't hear you unless you're not Curtis.
Yeah. Oh, really? Interesting. Yep. All right. But
that's from Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, yeah.
That's his brother. When he shows up at the door.
Wow. That was
I don't hear you unless you not Curtis.
Nice. I did not make that connection, but that's perfect. That's brilliant. Good call. Curtis kind of holds his hand up above Oliver's eyes to kind of like, oh, I guess you don't have his jawline.
Right.
Which, how would he know what the Arrow's jawline looks like? But
well, he was on the TV.
That's true, but still.
And I say the TV like that to be funny.
And Oliver's like, yeah, I get that a lot. Which I thought was kind of cute because he's always been accused and
Right.
So the flashbacks basically boil down to Ryder and Redneck Conklin guy going down to the chamber where Constantine found that artifact last week.
Right. The Orb of Horus.
Which gives me a nice little excuse to say Constantine. Yeah.
I know, right?
Yep. Because even just a mention was like, "Eee, Constantine."
I know.
So, so Ryder finds this hieroglyph message on the wall, sends Oliver to this cove to bring laborers back to start digging for something. We don't know what.
Right.
So that's basically the flashback for the week. All right.
Well, and Conklin bribes one of the Russian guys to kill him.
Right.
And Oliver has to kill the Russian guy. And then Conklin's like, oh, you'll have to explain that, buddy.
Yeah. So basically, no Constantine means no interesting flashback this week.
Right. Exactly right.
We're again. That Constantine was the only thing that could save those flashbacks. All right. Ray sends Felicity a new message reveals that he survived after being shrunk down to the size of a Cheeto.
That's right. I
I
love
I
that.
like that line.
Yeah.
So yeah, good call there. He's being held prisoner though inside a little paperweight on a desk,
Right.
and
Inside a tiny little box.
so he's got a great future as a paperweight.
Mm-hmm.
Great career ahead of him. Um, but he also hints that he tells where they can find these schematics to build this device to restore him to normal size.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is Curtis says they need this part from Cord Industries.
Kord. Where is that from?
Yeah, that couldn't be like Ted Cord, the Blue Beetle, right?
Do you think?
It'd be nice if we saw the Blue Beetle.
Oh, it would be so nice. I have a feeling he's going to show up on Legends of Tomorrow, though.
They've mentioned Ted Cord before.
Yes, many times.
So yeah.
He has come in as early as Suicide Squad.
Right.
Those were the ammunitions
Well,
they stole.
we're still waiting for the Blue Beetle, though.
Yeah. Well, we get Rip Hunter
right
in Legends of Tomorrow, so I'm thinking.
Yeah, let's just be glad that there's no crossover with Supergirl because Maxwell Lord might kill him.
Right?
Just saying.
I know.
All right. So just as they figured that they need this part from their competitor, Cord Industries, who shows up at the door but Donna Smoke.
Oh.
Charlotte Ross returning as Donna Smoke.
I'm so mad about this.
After Oliver invites her.
And she's recurring.
Yeah.
This season.
Right. Well, there's a reason for that, which we'll get into. But
do you see my eyes rolling?
Yes.
Here?
I kind of like her.
Okay, I have nothing against Charlotte Ross.
Yeah.
She's great.
But the character, yeah.
And I don't mind the character either. But I will tell you I have a problem with the end of this episode. And I'll tell you why when we get there.
All right, we'll get there. So Felicity's totally pissed at Oliver. Helps him, but she helps the team break into Cord Industries. She kind of gives Oliver this nickname, Chatty Cathy.
Right. We have a visitor.
Which is not at all ironic that Felicity, of all people, is calling someone Chatty Cathy because she talks and talks and talks and won't shut up. So, yeah. So they break in there. Thea and Sarah end up finding the part that they need. But Sarah ends up going all medieval on some security guard and keeps wailing and wailing on him until he almost dies.
Oh, she kills him. She breaks his neck.
Does she? No, I thought that was the second. That was some other guy. That was the second guy she attacked.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
The second.
Well, she breaks somebody's neck.
Yeah, the first guy she just bludgeoned into a pulp.
Okay.
But yeah, second guy that she goes crazy on because she goes back out in the field and she goes, "Oh, I want to just see if I can control this."
Okay.
And then she goes out and she kills a dude.
Right.
Then.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So
she snaps that guy's neck.
Snap.
Good. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. There's a second message from Ray where Felicity discovers that Damien Dark, of course, is the guy who has Ray. How he got him, we don't know. Last time he was falling out of a building, really tiny, and then he ends up in Damien Dark's little paperweight on his desk.
That's right.
Somehow. But he's hoping to get the technology from Ray's suit, which is really tiny.
That's right.
Also the size of a Cheeto.
Right. Hard to get that technology out.
Yeah, it's hard to get somebody in that suit when it's that small. So they got to bring they can't bring Ray or the suit back to normal size, so they can use it. They track down Damien Dark to his hideout, and with this device created by Curtis, they end up saving Ray, restoring him to normal size.
Right.
And Ray's like, "Hey, I'm not dead." Awesome.
Right. Exactly.
How cool is that?
And I have to say, Ray, after he was enlarged, was delightful.
Yeah.
Well, when Ollie tells him
optimistic.
When Ollie tells him about Hive, he's like, "Oh, is that like Spectre? That's cool."
And that was not at all a well-timed line.
I know, right?
With Spectre being out this past week, so yeah.
Yeah. Nudge, nudge.
Yeah, like, hey kids, there's a new Bond movie out called Spectre. You met?
Right.
So yeah.
I thought it was funny though, and he's like, "What? Is that bad?
Yeah.
Should I not kid?"
It is kind of cool.
He was pretty adorable.
I'm with Ray on this one.
Yeah.
Sarah, after, like I said, ends up killing that guy, she decides to leave Star City to gain control of her bloodlust because apparently she's like Thea, has to kill a guy once a month or something
Mm-hmm.
to make herself feel better.
Same thing. Even though she was cured.
Yeah, so
by Constantine.
I was thinking like she got her soul back from Constantine, but he couldn't fix that.
Right.
What's up with that?
I thought the same thing.
I thought she would have been fine, and Theo be the only one with the problem, but apparently not.
Right.
So okay, so she decides, hey, I'm gonna go visit my mom, River Song, in Central City.
Right. Yes, come
Alex,
on.
Alex Kingston.
Yes, I love Alex Kingston.
River Song, just saying.
She's a curly girl.
Yep. Who apparently also shares, like, Laurel's taste in denim jackets.
Mm-hmm.
Because River always has a denim jacket, and then then Laurel has a denim.
Did you notice that Laurel was wearing a white leather jacket last week?
No, I didn't.
So I'm wondering if she's going to give that to her.
Yeah, well,
that's a send off.
Yeah, I took your Black Canary jacket, so
yeah.
Here,
now
let me return the favor and give you a white one.
Right. Since you're going to be the White Canary.
Even though you were the Black Canary first, I'm keeping your code name.
Right. Exactly.
I don't know.
Well, the White Canary is kind of a bad guy every once in a while, right?
Kind of. They recently reintroduced the character in the New 52, but they haven't revealed much about the White Canary yet. But we'll see. Probably going to end up being called Sarah Lance.
Probably.
Or, yeah, we'll see.
Synergy.
Yeah, exactly. Corporate synergy.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Lances, Quentin Lance ends up having a drink, only of club soda at a bar. So that's not at all tempting for an alcoholic.
Right?
Yes. Right?
This is my problem.
Okay.
Why would he go to a bar?
Yes. Why would he be anywhere near a bar being an alcoholic?
Right.
But he has been drinking this season. He's been kind of off the wagon.
But why would he go to a bar?
Yeah, I know.
At all.
Well, maybe he's picking up chicks.
And yet that's where
he picked up the chick. Right? I know.
And he just happens to meet Felicity's mother.
Yeah, it's not at all coincidental.
What a coincidence.
Yes. And she chats him up. She's like, hey, you sound kind of lonely.
Can you hear my eyes rolling in my head? This is the worst.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
But
I like both of these characters, but this is just the worst.
I do think they make a cute couple.
Oh, come on.
Well,
that's not the point.
and it gives Quentin an actual romance, which he's never had.
Who cares? It's Quentin.
Oh, maybe there's people that like him.
I like him. I like him fine. So he's not a main character.
Develop his character a little.
This is called Arrow.
But see, it creates conflict because it's like you've got Felicity's mom dating Laurel's dad. So that wouldn't be at all awkward because they'll have a family dinner.
Who cares?
I don't know.
This is about crime fighting.
Yes, I know.
This isn't about Thanksgiving dinner.
No, I disagree because it stopped being about crime fighting the minute Oliver started making souffles this season. He's
all right.
In this episode, he's talking about freaking making chicken cordon bleu.
Cordon bleu, I know.
So what happened to the badass vigilante?
Crime, though.
No, I'd rather be in the kitchen.
Yeah, I know.
What?
I know, but again, you're complaining about that. So you want more of that? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying
another couple.
I'm just saying it's happening, whether you like it or not. It's happening.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want another couple.
Okay.
I do not.
I don't want Oliver in the kitchen, but apparently he's going to be there.
Yeah.
So we don't get what we want.
Get off the show. Off.
Yes.
Go away. I want the Green Arrow. I want him
Yeah.
solving crimes and killing bad guys.
Oh, and romance, of course, is in the air because you got Thea asking that campaign guy, Alex, who is
And
probably not at all working for Damien Dark, just saying, to take her out for a drink.
I saw your eyes rolling too.
Well, it's obvious, right?
I'm sure he is.
I'm
I'm
sure
sure he is.
I'm sure he is. He's
He's
good
a
looking.
bad guy.
He's got to be a bad guy.
Yeah.
The last thing we get is Damien Dark unfolding this mystery box.
Right. And you and I were talking about that.
We were
just
talking about
before
this
we
before.
started.
Yeah, because it's either some kind of map or a circuit board or something. We're not quite
Right.
sure what it is. And
We cannot think of anything
and
in the DC universe that it is, though.
yeah, he tells his lackey to test some dwarf star alloy on it.
Right.
But because some people speculated, and I mentioned this to Karen before, that they might think it's a mother box from the New Gods. But they're not going to introduce that because they're going a whole supernatural route with Damien Dark. So I told him I don't buy into that theory at all. I think it's something supernatural.
Yeah, it's magic.
It's magic stuff.
They're talking about magic too much this season.
Yeah. Well, that's the theme.
Right. I don't know what to compare it to.
Right.
I mean, I can't think of anything in the DC universe that reminds me of this. So,
but I'm guessing it's going to connect somehow to that that artifact or whatever that Baron Ryder / Blitzkrieg is looking for in the flashback.
Oh, do you think?
Okay. Probably because.
Why?
Yeah. Why else? Why? Yeah, because last season there was a whole big thing of making this virus.
Right, and it was the virus.
And it was the virus that Ra's al Ghul was going to unleash on Starling City. So yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
We don't know what it is yet, but it's something. So what'd you get this episode?
I gave it 7 new show setups.
Okay.
That's what this season has been all about. This was sending off Sarah and getting Ray out so that they could go off to their new show.
Right.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, that's what it was all about.
And I gave this one 8 unfolding mystery boxes because, yeah.
Yeah. And, I don't mind them setting up the new show. I really don't.
Just don't be so obvious about it.
It's so obvious. And then that last part with Lance going off to the bar.
Right.
Yeah. And he just happens to be there at the exact same time as Felicity's mom, and they hook up. Come on.
Well, Sarah wins the Henry Allen Award for the oh, hey, I'm back with everybody. Oh, gotta go. I'm gotta go to the other city now.
Right, exactly.
I didn't understand.
I don't think Ray's going to be that far behind her either.
No, because he's going to be like, well, Felicity, you're doing such a great job with this company. Why don't you just keep on running it while I go off and...
He said it essentially in this one, until I decide to come back from the dead. It's yours.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Hopefully next week is better with Arrow.
Yeah, Arrow, this whole beginning of the season has just felt like, hey, look, it's Legends of Tomorrow coming soon.
Well.
Oh, yeah, and Arrow's in this too.
Well, Sarah's going to go to Central City, and then it'll be all Flash is setting up Legends of Tomorrow.
I know.
You've got Hawkgirl there, so Canary will interact with Hawkgirl or something.
I know. They're trying to do synergy. Right now, I wish they would just kind of...
Well, it's only 2 episodes away from this big crossover. Or 3,
I know.
2 or 3. It's coming beginning in December.
Not worry about the new show so much. We're going to watch it.
I know.
Right?
I know.
Don't push it in our face so much.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay, so that's all we have, which is plenty because here we are at 2 hours, 18 minutes. So, yeah.
I do have a feedback.
Okay. What's the feedback? Real quick from Justina.
Mm-hmm. Here we go.
Hi, this is Justina, and I love hanging out in the fandom zone. Here we go. Monday. Gotham, 7 out of 10 picnic lunches. Barbara is so good at acting crazy. Supergirl, 9 out of 10 Dr. Peppers. When I was watching, I couldn't help but think about Age of Ultron Avengers, and then I found out that the villain's name was Reactron, which sounds kind of similar. Do these comic companies always copy off of each other?
Yes, they
I
do.
really love that they're using Superman in the series and not ignoring his existence, but yet not letting it overshadow Supergirl or take too much time away from her story. I give Flash 8 out of 10 extra Flash symbols. I can't believe what Zoom did to Flash. I still have faith that with his fast healing powers, he'll be able to heal. But I'm very interested to see how the fastest man alive deals with his new limitation. Is there any evidence in the comic books of speedsters becoming disabled in this way?
Oh, yes, there
Agents of
is.
S.H.I.E.L.D. gets 9 out of 10 trips to Hawaii. Agent May was so awesome in this episode. And I wonder if Rosalind's attitude towards Inhumans will change now that Daisy's powers saved her. The Arrow gets 8 out of 10 teeny tiny superheroes. I loved the way that they handled relationships this week. I hated watching Felicity be mad at Oliver, but at the same time, I'm glad that they're treating their relationship realistically and they're having fights about things that real people have fights about. And it would make sense that Felicity would feel guilty over Ray. So I'm glad that they did not gloss over this. Everybody fighting together was super awesome. When Oliver hung upside down, he reminded me of Spider-Man. And poor Sarah with her bloodlust. I'm wondering if they will find a way to cure her, or the fact that she's going to a time travel show. Will she be able to time travel to a timeline in which she never went into the Lazarus pit and therefore would not be taken over by this bloodlust? Did you notice the Arrow Easter egg in Flash? On Earth 2, Oliver is dead, and Robert Queen is the Hood. Very, very interesting.
Yep.
Have a super week, Karen and Charles.
Thanks, Justina.
Thanks, Justina. Actually, she brings up a good point with the Spider-Man kiss between Oliver and Felicity. They just totally ripped off Peter Parker and Mary Jane.
Right.
With that upside down kiss.
You pretty much answered your own question there. Do they rip off Marvel?
Oh,
yeah.
yes, they do.
They do a lot. They rip off each other a lot. And the Flash might be one of the most Kleenexy superheroes. They get hurt a lot.
Well, you know,
the Flash,
but they heal up quick.
They do. They die a lot, or get lost in the Speed Force, or
maybe
they do.
Maybe, yeah. But then they get brought back, so it's okay.
Yeah, and Superman dies, and Batman dies. Yeah, so it happens a lot.
Well, Batman got lost in time. Batman never died.
Okay, yeah, but
I know.
He died.
He died. Everybody thought he was dead, but he didn't. He was just Darkseid sent him back in time.
Right.
Gotta get back in time.
So who has died and stayed dead?
Well, everybody used to say Bucky Barnes, but
now he's back.
He's Winter Soldier now.
Right.
Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben
has never come back. You're correct.
Uncle Ben has never come back.
You're right.
He's our dependable.
His story has been retold.
Yes.
But he's never actually come back from the dead.
No. So
You're
Uncle Ben. Cheers to Uncle Ben Parker.
Yeah. One for my homie.
Yep.
Uncle Ben.
Okay, so Karen, where can they find you?
They can find me at Aliveria on Twitter, and my About Me link is there. And it has a link to our Facebook page as well. So
awesome. And definitely use that page because I found all kinds of cool podcasts that Karen does on that page. So check it out.
And there's other stuff that you can,
yes,
you can get lost on the links in that page, I think. Right?
Well, yeah, exactly. You could spend the day on Karen's page.
You probably could.
So you can find me at Charles Skaggs on Twitter and on Instagram. Google Plus for all you crazy kids on the Google Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, of course, and my blog of geeky things, Damn Good Coffee and Hot, where I talk about all the shows that we talk about here, all kinds of comic book on TV news and stuff. So, and my stuff on my other podcast that I do with Jesse Jackson, Next Stop Everywhere.
That's right. You're just this podcast guy.
I don't have time for any more. I want to do others. Like there was like an X-Files. I want to like do that. And I don't have time.
I know.
I'm trying to like be a like develop my comic book writing career,
I know
hopefully. So yeah,
I know.
and I work full
You
time.
have a life.
I'm married, somewhere I have to fit that in somewhere.
Yeah, well, I
So
just let that one go. Shush. I
well,
am
I'm
married.
glad I
I
can
really am.
contribute to that.
Yeah, thanks. And on Twitter, if you want to follow the podcast, we're
Yeah.
at Fandom Zone Cast. On Facebook, we are facebook.com/Fandom Zone Podcast. And email is fandomzonecast@gmail.com. So that's it for this week, guys.
I will say that I can probably squeeze in a guest podcast here and there.
Oh, okay. That's
So I
good.
could, as long as it's not like a regular thing, I could probably work it in.
Oh,
So
see?
so
there you go.
so if Karen had another podcast, hey, I could work in a guest appearance
Well, you never know.
if she wanted me there. I mean,
You never know.
She might not want me.
Okay, you want to talk about Castle? That was such the wrong one, right?
Line.
All right.
All right.
So we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.